Howdy.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to KUMBTV's Eyes Up, Mother Brown. We are live for tonight's big FA Cup fifth round tie between the mighty West Ham United and a team called Southampton from the South Coast. I'm joined tonight by my right-hand man, DL, and my left-hand man, I suppose you could say, Rio tonight. Good evening, chaps. How are we doing?
Okay. Thanks to TFL, not great. Thanks for the strike, guys. Really set
Sure,
me up
mate. Tell us, talk us through it. What's the score down there?
Well, luckily I've already Tuesday strike because I work from home, but at the going today, yeah. I completely agree. Protect your pension. You deserve it. You work hard. But you don't work hard enough sometimes when I'm trying to get home for the football. Enough said.
Choose your days, boys. Choose your days. I mean, not tonight. It's FA Cup night, for Christ's sake. Rio's trying to get home. Nick, how you doing, buddy?
All right, yeah. Getting there, mate. Getting in.
Excellent.
Bit nervous about tonight, but then I saw both teams and I'm like, well, we ain't too weak, are we? Whereas they put out a second stream according to Dorset Saint on the forum. So that's 2-1 to them.
Should we go through the teams? Have you guys got them, or do you want me to run through as I have them here in front of me?
I'll do it in my normal ramshackle way if I can find them. Let me just move a few bits here on my screen because I'm about as organised as a tit in a trance at the moment.
Rio, have you got Southampton up?
I'm just trying to
both up. Here we go.
I'm prepared. It's unreal.
Right.
Well,
here we go. I'm ready.
Take it away, then. Go on.
Lining up for the Saints, we've got Caballero in goal with Peters, Valeri, Stevens, Perrault, Diallo, Ward-Prowse, Smallbone, and I've just clicked on the tweet. Let me let it load again. Smallbone, Janipo, or whatever his name is, Long and Armstrong. We line up with Areola in goal, with Johnson, Dawson, Zuma, and Diop. I think he might be playing 4-3-3, by the way, with Diop and Fornells as wingbacks. That's my guess, but we shall see. Rice, Soucek, Fornells, Lanzini, Bowen, and Antonio. So really quite a strong side he's put out there. He's obviously going for it, is Mr. Moyes.
One big name missing from the starting lineup tonight is Aaron Cresswell. Rio, how do you see us lining up? Interesting one, isn't it? No obvious fullback in that side, apart from Ben Johnson, of course, and then 3 centre halves. Interesting. What do you make of it?
And I think it's probably following the same format as Sunday, isn't it, really? I think Fornells will probably act as a left wing back, which he's got a great engine on him. He can do the job. Issa playing as left-sided centre-back. My only real shock, I think, it's probably overstrong, our lineup, considering the amount of games we've got coming up and what we've been through this season already.
Yeah,
I expected one or two of them to get a rest, but no, let's flog that dead horse until it drops.
Are you surprised to see the lineup as strong as it is?
Yeah, I am pretty much. I didn't think Antonio would play tonight. I thought he might give either stuck Bowen up top on his own, even give one of the youngsters maybe a little trial run out. But no, apart from that, as we said, pretty much full strength, and we're making them earn their money.
We certainly are. Nick, you were just saying that Southampton have missing a few players. I mean, Ralph Hussenhutel did sort of allude to that, didn't he, in his pre-match press conference yesterday when he said that there'll be quite a few reserve players, or not reserve players, but backup players chomping at the bit, and how they'd served them well so far in the Cups, and that they'd be given an opportunity. So, some big names missing for the Saints, but of course the captain James Ward-Prowse, always a big threat for them. He's in the team, but are you surprised to see him make so many changes?
Yeah, I am actually, because they haven't got anything to play for in the league, have they? They're perfectly safe. It's highly unlikely they're going to qualify for Europe. So, yeah, I am surprised. Maybe just showing faith in the players that have already got him in. So, which I can understand that.
Yes. Yeah, good stuff. I mean, it should prove to be an interesting evening, I think. It's obviously, I mean, Rio, you mentioned the change in tack from David Moyes at the weekend. Talked about how we played wing backs. What did you make of that? I mean, was it a touch of genius from Moyes, or just a realization that, you know, at some point, if it ain't working, you've got to fix it?
I think it's a touch of both.
Right.
Playing with the wing backs, it allows us to soak up a little bit more pressure. The extra man at the back really does help. And we all know we're far better playing on the counter attack rather than being on the front foot. I thought we played really well Sunday. We could have been more clinical. We would have won that 3 or 4-0. But having an extra man at the back really helps. It enables, like, it doesn't negate 4-0s as an attacking player. It kind of augments his game, doesn't it, a little bit? He still get that engine, get up and down the pitch. He was joining most of the promising attacks. He was still a fulcrum of our attacking play. And Ben Johnson, who I've had a lot of serious dates over the last month or so. I was really scathing about him after the Newcastle game. He was thought to have a better game on Sunday as well, because he's got that extra bit of protection behind him as well. So it worked well for the whole team. And we needed to change approach a little bit, because it was getting a bit predictable, a bit samey, a bit kind of, you know, even the fans could see how we were struggling. And if we can pick up what deficiencies are, highly paid coaches and technical analysts were going to pick up a bit more than us.
Well, you'd like to think so, wouldn't you? One of the things that it's kind of funny, I was looking back, and especially in Jack Elderton's review of the game, which was on KUMB yesterday. Nick, I'm not sure we actually picked up on Sunday, did we, that Fornals was playing as a wing back? I mean, he was obviously playing in a slightly different role, but I'm not sure we picked that one up, did we? Showing how astute we are as tacticians.
No, we never picked a lot up on Sunday, let's be fair. No, I didn't realise at all. But it was one of those games, wasn't it, where it was worth dipping into and dipping out again and talking about rubbish. So no, I never picked up on that whatsoever. But talking about Fornals, his little kid, did you see the tweet where he photobombed with Johnson? Ben Johnson's.
Yeah, it's awesome, wasn't it?
That was quite funny. That's great in his West Ham kit. Super.
For the benefit of everyone watching who didn't see that, just explain what happened there.
Oh, yes. It was an interview with Ben Johnson post-match, and Fornals decided to pop his little baby in shot. He sang a song, didn't he? I can't remember what it was. Was it the West Ham Massive song, or Bubbles, or no, or Come On You Irons, or something or other? I have been asleep since the last one.
Yeah. Good stuff. We like to see that. It was a nice bit of team morale. Johnson certainly enjoyed it anyway, so that was pretty good. But Rio, you weren't with us on Sunday because you, of course, were at the game watching what happened. We, I think it's fair to say, Nick and I had a bit of a ball on Sunday watching that. We thoroughly enjoyed it. What was the view from the stands? Was it as enjoyable as it was for us? Yeah,
I mean, the way we approached the game was a complete breath of fresh air after the last 5 or 6 weeks where we have struggled massively. And everyone, it wasn't the most vocal of atmosphere, but everyone was appreciative the way we approached the game, the way we set up. Wolves are a quality side. No, they don't concede many goals. They've got a wealth of attacking options, but we negated them, and we was by far the better side. You know, I said we could have won 3 or 4-0, been a bit more clinical, but everyone went away more than happy. Everyone was really appreciative of it afterwards.
Yeah, I think we did. It was a good game all round. Not too many clear-cut chances, but we played some decent football, didn't we? It was a good game to win in the circumstances as well. Let's shall we move on to tonight's game, gentlemen, and have a look at this evening's opponent, Southampton. There's some good omens here, isn't there, in terms of FA Cup history between us. A little piece is a few words I wrote for KUMB a while back, but just touching on our previous history with the Saints in the FA Cup. West Ham last faced Southampton in the competition back in January 1975, when goals from Frank Lampard and Bobby Gould saw the Hammers secure a 2-1 win at the Dell. Mick Shannon scoring the consolation for the hosts from a penalty spot midway through the second half. It was a rare Frank Lampard free kick on that day that helped. But prior to that, West Ham triumphed 1-0 in a second replay at Villa Park in March 1923 against Southampton. Now, I'm sure the keen-eyed fans of you out there will recognise the significance of both of those dates. Of course, on both occasions, we got to the final in those years, beating Fulham in the first one in 1975, and then March 23, of course, the White Horse final, the very first one at the Exhibition Stadium, as Wembley used to be known. Of course, unfortunately, it didn't turn out so well for Saturday, losing 2-0 to Bolton. But we also played them in January 1920. When we beat them 3-1 at the Bowling after drawing 0-0 in the first game at the Dell. So good omens, Nick.
Yeah, I don't remember it. I was alive for one of them, but I don't remember either of them.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think who I might know that would be alive for the White Horse fight. Probably my granddad.
March 23.
He
sorry, it would be May
have
23, wouldn't it?
He might well have had his cap on because he came down from Glasgow as a wee boy.
Yeah.
And it was him that just started following West Ham when he moved down. He became doctor. He went from the old what's the bloody thing called up there? The dockyards up there. And then he came down. Docks? I don't know what dock he went. No, it was shipbuilder. So I don't think it was the ironworks that he worked for.
Right.
The Clyde. He came down from a Clyde shipyard.
Oh, sorry, you're talking about up there. Oh, right, okay. Sorry,
yeah.
I thought you.
And then he came down and worked at a shipyard down here, building boats, and that's when he became a West Ham fan. And I've suffered ever since.
Rio, anyone in the Rio family might have been at that final 100, 99 years ago now.
Yeah, very much so. I've done probably mentioned this a couple of times before, but I've got a couple of relatives in the past who represented West Ham. Alf Chalkley and George Chalkley. Alf was a pretty notable, I think it was the left half in them days, wasn't it?
Yeah. 230
odd games for the first team, 1 goal. And I think George notched up about 20 games in the old Southern League before we got full-time status in the Division 2.
Nice.
So one of them would definitely have been there. And I know for a fact some of my relatives have been there and all.
No relation to the other chalks that we know of, I presume?
God, no. I escaped that one. I love him to death, but no.
There you go. Some proper history, proper West Ham history on the stream tonight. I'm trying to think actually if any of my I don't even know. I know my grandfather was a season ticket holder in the 50s and 60s and did 64, 65, 66 and 76 for what it's worth, but that would have been a generation after. He would have only been 3 or 4 years old at the time. So I don't know if his mum or dad were season ticket holders. Not sure I could find out now because they're unfortunately they're no longer with us. But anyway, good. Some good pedigree on the stream for you tonight. Some good West Ham pedigree. Let us know if you're tuning in what you think the score might be tonight. Let's have a quick look at the West Ham and Southampton head-to-head over the years. Let's have a quick 76, 78, 83, 113 times we've met each other. Chaps, would you care to take a guess at who's won the most between West Ham and Southampton? Nick?
Go on, Rio, encyclopedia, man.
I'm going to be really brave and say us, despite the fact that since I've been going, we've not had a great deal of luck against these lot.
Okay. Nick, you go with Rio, or are you going to?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Rio. I think right. It's probably how many games?
113, I make it.
113. I reckon, right? This is just off the top of my head. So if it is right, it is a fluke and it's not me being clever. I reckon we've drawn about 40 of them because we seem to draw a lot. And so what's that? So that's 40. No, that's too many. Say 30. And then we shade it about 40, 30. That's, ish.
All right. Well, you're not far out. You're both right. West Ham have won the most games between the two teams. West Ham have won 43 of those 113 meetings. Southampton 34 with 29 draws, Nick. So you're damn as near.
That was good. That blowing my own trumpet. With the plus and minus of error in these surveys. That was pretty good. I'd give myself a pat on the back, but I've got.
I'll not mention the fact that your 40-30-30 split didn't quite add up to 113, but
I didn't.
but you were bang on, pretty much bang on. But as I said, in terms of meetings in the FA Cup, 3 meetings, Sorry, 6 meetings, 3 draws, and 3 West Ham wins. They've never beaten us in the FA Cup. So fingers crossed we can continue that tonight. We did meet once in the League Cup. Southampton won that. I'm not sure when that was played. Rio, you're pretty good at these things. Any ideas while I scroll down the list? League Cup meeting between the two?
That's got to be in the 70s. I can't remember playing them in the League Cup.
Your hero might have been playing. Potsy, quite possibly.
Okay. I definitely didn't remember that one.
87.
It was 25th of October, 1995.
Good Lord.
Neil Shipley and Gordon Watson scored for Southampton, and Tony Cottee scored our reply. But we went down 2-1. Don't know what round it was in. I have got my book actually. But
he liked to go against us, didn't he, Shipley?
Oh, too many.
Christ. Yeah. Never forget the one at Cardiff, of course. A big lad now, isn't he? Have you seen him lately?
He's a unit, mate.
Yeah.
He's probably.
He likes a donut more than a goal, I'll tell you that.
He does.
I've got a bit of a selfish stat to bring up here.
Go for it.
Right. Thanks to one of our forum stalwarts and legends, Mr. Wanstead.
Oh, yes.
He's got me onto this app called Footballogy, where you keep a record of every game you've ever been to.
Right.
So I've seen us play Southampton in person 27 times.
Wow.
And surprisingly, we won 15 of them. Oh, no. Yeah, no. We won 15, drawn 3 and lost 9.
That's not bad going.
No.
Well.
That's,
this app has taken over my life, so it's destroyed me, actually.
Do you know what app has taken over my life? Flight Radar 24. I cannot put it down.
Well, yeah, I mean, you've been watching all the military planes. Have you going around Russia?
I have, yes. I even invested me $9.99 so that I got the silver subscription.
What did you get for that?
The toilet, it didn't time out.
Oh, right. So what's that? You get just extended coverage.
No, you just scored.
Yeah, and you also get
taking the lead.
Extended coverage, and you also get the age of the plane and all that sort of geeky stuff. Which, I'm like a pig in poo.
Nice. Well, I mean, I think I might have mentioned it on the forum the other day. We don't need that for in this part of the world. I just have to look out the window and watch them all fly overhead because. As I've mentioned before, I'm sure I'm pretty much underneath some of the biggest RF bases in the country up here in the Shires. Rio, there's been a goal in an FA Cup tie that's been played at the moment, you were just saying.
Yeah, corner in from Luton, minute gone, 2 minutes gone. Header, and 1-0 to Luton. And I think, I'm trying to see who scored it, but I think it looked a bit like Reece Burke, Exodus Parish.
Well.
I know young Mr. Potts Jr. is captain of Luton tonight, but I'm sure Reece Burke just put Luton in front against Chelsea.
Well, I'm some time behind you because I'm not watching the TV. I've got a stream and I've just seen the goal, and I can confirm Rio is absolutely right. Reece Burke, formerly of West Ham, has scored the goal against Chelsea. They've had a bit of a rough old day, haven't they, Rio? To be fair, Chelsea. Did you see the news shortly before we came on air about Roman?
Yeah, I've just seen that. I don't want to get into politics and all that. What I'd just like to point out is to all the Chelsea fans that I've got far too many of friends of mine, and they've been lauding it up. Oh, we're world champions. We won the World Club Cup. You've won a tournament no one watches, no one gives a monkeys about. Even Liverpool never stooped to that level when they won that tournament. So, and they've been very quiet since the events of last week for some reason. And
Yep.
Chelsea, eh?
Shame, eh?
Don't you just love it?
Oh, no. Do you know what? I didn't even know about it. I'm just catching it up on the BBC website, reading the article.
Yeah, he's away, isn't he?
Careful what you wish for, because Chelsea are the type of club now that they'd fall in a barrel of the proverbial poo and come up smelling of roses. And that they'll get another owner that's prepared to pump billions upon billions of pounds in. So I'm not going to laugh too heavily.
Swiss guy, aren't they?
What's that?
They're talking about a Swiss guy. I'm not sure who he is, but someone who's also extremely wealthy coming in and taking
Hansel
over.
Wish or something.
Yeah, I look forward to them away trips to Stamford Bridge during on a Toblerone. Breaking me gums trying to bite into it. Yeah, you can stick that and all.
Stick your toe up yet? No.
So we were talking briefly about Luton and Chelsea. Luton have scored, obviously, great stuff. West Ham light. Just thinking that even the name Luton just conjures up some horrendous memories for me in terms of cup nights gone by. I mean, awful nights in the past, but we'll gloss over that for now. Should we just have a quick look at the other FA Cup scores? There's 5 games. No, there isn't. There's 3 games being played tonight. Everton and Boreham Wood is tomorrow, and Forest and Huddersfield next Monday. But last night, there was a couple of other ties taking place. Peterborough lost at home to Man City 2-0. Crystal Palace beat Stoke. So there was another game. Took place last night, Nick. Any ideas? Anything like featured a team called Middlesbrough and some other mob?
No, don't know what you want about, mate. They weren't, no big clubs involved, were they?
Well, there was a lot of joy in this part of the world because, Rio, Spurs put out the cup. That was a bit of a shock, wasn't it, last night?
No.
To be honest, I did fancy Middlesbrough a little bit. I mean, I've watched them a few times, and although they're not having the greatest time in the league at the moment, they're up there about 8th or 9th, aren't they? Just out of the playoff spots. But they played really well against Manchester United. Thoroughly deserved that. And what made it sweet for me, I was sitting watching it with 2 Tottenham fans. So yeah,
beautiful.
Beautiful.
How did the tears taste?
They're actually quite for Tottenham fans, they're quite reasonable, and they still maintain that they don't hate us, which I'll never get, never accept that in a million years. But yeah, that was all right. Good boys, Tony and Gary.
I forgot about that actually. The fact that they'd already knocked out Manchester United. Of course, they went to Old Trafford, didn't they, in the previous round and turned them over. Fantastic.
Didn't Borough do Man United in one of the League Cup games and all a couple of years ago? I know someone did.
Not sure. Quite possibly. But that was a result up there, wasn't it? I mean, and again last night that was extra time, wasn't it? So. What are we thinking about tonight? Do we? I mean, Rio, do you think we might be looking at extra time this evening, or is this one that's going to get settled in regular 90 minutes? Do you think?
I've got a feeling it's going to go to extra time and penalties. Simply the reason that my 2 boys have gone down there. They've got to get back home from Stratford when they get dropped off. Probably at some ungodly hour in the morning, and it's going to cost me an Uber. So yeah, it's going to go extra time, penalties. We'll probably find something else to kind of prolong the agony and all.
What's the price of an Uber from Stratford these days?
Last time I tried was about 25, 30.
Oh, it's not too bad, I suppose. Could be.
Just had to shell out the tickets for the younger one. So I'm already 50 notes down without that.
What a good dad you are! Well, at least you're keeping them on the straight and narrow. Anyway, it could be. I'm loath to admit this, but my daughter was taken to the Emirates last week by a partner to watch them play Wolves. It was a Wolves game where they were 1-0 down right up until the end, and then they scored. And she put a picture of herself on social media wearing. It's so hard for me to admit, wearing an Arsenal shirt.
Oh, that must have smarted.
Where did I go wrong? I've already disowned her anyway. I'm written her out of the wheel, so it's not all bad. It saved me a few bob, but I've got some work to do on that one, I think.
I've already been told by my absolutely wonderful daughter, and I can't knock her for this. Her other half's an Arsenal fan, and she has already got in there first and bought the coming home from hospital West Ham baby grow.
That's the way to do it. That's the way to do it.
She's straight in there like a rat up a drain pipe. Also was he, which is why I'm going to be a granddad. But
fair play. Fair play. Rio, you said you think this is going to be penalties, possibly. Extra time, possibly penalties. Who do you see coming through this one, getting to the last 8?
If it does go to that kind of stage tonight, you've got to fear for us, aren't you? it's the fatigue thing. Even at the end of Sunday, we looked tired. Fatigue set in massively. Antonio, we saw everything of Antonio in that game. The brilliance, the bullishness, the aggression, the power, the pub league player, the one who don't know where to put both his feet at the same time. That was most in the space of 10 minutes, I think. But yeah, the longer the game goes on, you've got a fear for us.
Are you predicting a home win in that case?
If it's in the 90 minutes, I think we might just do it. But if it does go to extra time, I worry.
They've got a stronger bench than us and all.
Yeah.
Yeah, we haven't talked about
that's my worry.
benches. They've got Southampton bench: Lewis, Livramento, Bednarek, Romeo, Armstrong, Armstrong. That is Walcott, Redmond, Adams, and Brozier. Of course, has been on top form of late. West Ham's bench: Randolph, Alisi, Kroll, Chesters, Okaflex, Ekwa, Perkins, Benrahma, and Vlasic. I suppose you could argue at least we've got some options in the attacking sense tonight. But remind me, where's Mark Noble?
One of the more pressing issues, right? This little screen grab thingy that goes on YouTube. So if you go on the thread for the Size Up Mother brand, and it's got a link to the YouTube thing, and it's got a picture of the three of us, how do you always manage to get the most atrocious freeze frame of me every single bloody time? I look like Tommy Cooper.
I've just seen it. Yeah, it's completely random. It's as soon as we go live, it takes the first frame from the minute that we launch. So we're going to have to practice sort of going like this for when it starts, and just hold it for about 30 seconds.
And that's the thumbnail forevermore, and I'm stuck with it.
I know it's. You do look slightly shocked there, mate, as it goes in that picture.
There's something going on. I don't know what it is. I think it was when the wife was passing me something.
How do you see it going tonight, Nick?
How do I see it going tonight?
90, but
I think I'm all Rio. I think if we haven't won it within the 90 minutes, it's going to be them.
Okay.
I hate predicting us to win because it's just never works out. I'm going to go for a one-goal win for us. So whether that's 1-0, 2-1, 3-2, something along those lines. A one-goal win for us. If not, it's going to go extra time and they'll win. But I don't think they're going to beat us in normal time.
Okay.
Just to complicate it a bit.
Yeah, a bit of a nice to see a bit of confidence though. Both predicting a win inside 90 if we can do it. Of course, I managed to call it right on Sunday. Pretty well, as right as you can get. I'd said 2-1, but obviously we won by 1-0. I'm not sure I'm going to chance my luck and go for a second West Ham win in a row. So I'll defer to you two and leave it for you guys. Everyone else on the stream, good to see you on it. Let us know. Let us know what you think the score is going to be. Just having a look at a couple of your comments. Evening to Hobo Polaroid. All the other guys. Simon Parker says irrational hatred of Luton. Simon, I can assure you, my friend, after 88, 89 or whenever it was, there's no such thing as an irrational hatred of Luton. It's perfectly understandable. Believe me, that was awful couple of semi-finals. Didn't we get beat by them in the cup a few years later as well at home? Was it 3-2?
Yeah. They were a bogey team for us, weren't they?
There was a way, wasn't it, when Potsy slipped up on that wet pitch?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Scott Oakes got hat-trick.
Yes. Nick Harford.
We've been dumped out of cups by some absolute rubbish, haven't we, really?
Well, I wrote an article for KUMB recently, and I think there was something like 50 teams, ranging from your Mansfields, your Herefords, your Wrexhams, Torquays, Tranmeres. Nearly Kidderminster the other day, wasn't it? We were very lucky not to add that one to the list. Emily, of course, didn't beat us, but pushed us all the way a few years ago. Some shockers. Barnsley, was it 5-2? We lost at home to Barnsley when Dixon.
Yeah, something like that.
It was some tough old nights we've had in the cup. But anyway, I think we're about to kick off, aren't we? Or have we kicked off?
We've got the graphics up. Well, I've got the graphics up here on the screen.
I'm 35 seconds in.
Excellent.
Are you really?
Yeah. Don't ask me to commentate. Ain't going to work.
No, we've gone past all that, Caper now.
Oh, good.
We don't do that no more.
we don't worry about the game. Just ignore it.
Oh, I'm
Something
now.
happened.
See, this is really quite weird because I've now just ended up. It's just skipped to 55 seconds.
Okay. Well,
Hello.
I haven't got a screen at all. So I'm relying on.
And who's that?
you
Who's
two
that?
to,
Should have done better
sure
this.
what's happening. Right. So yeah, I mean the other thing is, of course, is Southampton have got the hex on us, haven't they, Nick? So far this season, 4 points, isn't it, out of 6? I think they've taken from us. There was a goalless draw, wasn't it, down at the?
Yes.
I nearly said the Dell at St Mary's earlier in the season, and then of course we were surprisingly beaten. Well, perhaps not that surprisingly, really, but beaten 3-2.
No, not in
at home, wasn't
hindsight, it
recently?
wasn't a surprise. Yeah, they have. But on a one-off game, it depends on who wants it. I still think with cup games, it's whoever wants it more.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a nice corner, a bit of head tennis there. Who's that now over on the far side? Dawson. No, that's ours. That's ours. Or is it? No.
We've already
in terms of-
started better than we did against Kidderminster. Yeah. Mentality looks better.
Yeah. Well, that ain't hard, is it? I suppose, given the one we played that day. It was,
I was having brunch then, and there was no
Oh.
internet signal in the cafe either, or not in the cafe, in the restaurant. And I was eating, I can't recall what it was, something that looked like made out of tomato and baby seed, but it was nice. And I was
Sounds
trying to get it
delightful.
up on the phone, and the missus saying to me, "Yeah, just put your bloody phone down. It's rude. It's my birthday brunch." I want to check the football. You arranged this date on a day that West Ham are playing, and it clashed with the game, so you've got to expect it. And then I couldn't get a bloody signal, and it was piddling down with rain outside as well, so I couldn't even go out and check the scores without getting wet, which was a good thing because it was rubbish.
Talking of events clashing with the football, there's a local community meeting here tonight. They've we moved to this part of the world, as I've mentioned, for the greenery and the being surrounded by fields, and some energy company have decided to park hundreds of solar panels in the one of the fields that backs onto our garden. So within about a year's time, if the plans proceed, our lovely view that we moved for is hearing and replaced by lots of little grey and black panels. I'm just hoping that I can, you know what your dodgy neighbour used to do when he got into your electricity supply, and I'm hoping I can perhaps run a lead to the field and get a bit of direct free cheap lecky if that's the case, every cloud and all that. But
If we don't hear from you for a while, we know it's gone wrong.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, with the prices going up as they are, that's the way forward, mate. I'm not moaning about that view.
well, you might be right. You could be. Yeah, we could be onto a winner, I suppose. Really, it could
Yeah.
be. It could be worse, but
Those, in my
yeah,
view,
we'll see.
not to solar panels, but to a 3-story, 1,100 pupil bloody senior school.
What's going on with that? Are they? Is that going ahead?
It is going ahead now, yes. Probably, dare I say, probably a couple of backhanders and £40 million from the government for their communities fund to Medway Council, and they approved it. Oddly enough,
Amazing. The Oh, I've got a stream now at last. I've managed to get onto the BBC. That's been going ahead for ages, Nick, hasn't it? That particular development.
3 years.
Seems to be
3 years
around
over.
forever.
It's been in the making.
Right.
And it was initially, it was accepted, then it was knocked back, then it was accepted, knocked back again. And even English Heritage and people like that got involved because one of the planning things had to do with a Grade 1 listed farm. But they've not destroyed it as in, knocked it down, but they've modernised it. English Heritage have said, oh, kind of a bit late now. And they've just let it all go ahead. So,
Sad.
oh well.
Great at crested newts. They're always handy in a battle against development. So
The only thing you get around Medway is pistas and newt.
Send some freebies to the council.
Yeah.
I'm 5 minutes in on my stream. How are you guys doing?
5 minutes 22.
Yeah, 5:30. Yeah.
Right, Rio, looks like you're ahead. We're pretty close to. I'm on 5:18 as we speak, so only about 15 seconds in it. Looks like West Ham has started pretty brightly anyway. this formation that we seem to be sticking with. I mean, Rio, any initial observations from what we've seen so far in terms of tactics?
No, it's pretty much as we were on Sunday, to be honest, so far.
Yeah.
Johnson is pushed well forward from his right back position. Fornell's doing the donkey work up and down the left. And it's a fully Bowen to get a lot nearer to Antonio from the off. Now, it's not really worked yet, but Bowen had a chance earlier on, got put forward and put through. Didn't come to anything, but it was bright enough. So it's been a promising opening.
Yeah, good stuff. I mean, they definitely seem to be working a lot more closely together than they perhaps have been in recent weeks. Polaroid's going for a regulation 3-1 to us, like the confidence there, Polaroid. Simon Parker reminding us of the St. Valentine's Day massacre, Oldham 6-0. Yeah, who can forget that on the plastic pitch up at Boundary Park, wasn't it? Ricky Lee Jarvis says, what's Ralph playing at with this lineup? And hellos to AGXM and David O'Rourke. And who else have we got on the stream?
Posey in the orange.
Who's what? Sorry,
Posey in the orange. He's on the stream.
Who?
Posey in the orange.
Oh, I see. I've just gone up. Yeah, that's a new
wait.
I'm looking down the bottom of that description. There's another one. There's another one.
Oh, here we go. There's an attack going on here.
Okay.
And it's coming up in corner.
All right. Stick with it, Nick, just in case
oh, no, it's not.
Something comes of it. All right, it's come off Antonio, I think, isn't it, in the end?
I've got a little picture like that big. I've got the Zoom thing in the top of my screen, then I've got the football down there, and then I've got all the other guff like the forum and whatever. So it is a bit small. But if I go full,
good break
full screen, I can't.
Fornell's, wasn't it, bursting down the left-hand side?
Yeah.
You mentioned that, didn't you, Nick, at the start, saying that he's not going to be. I think it was you, might have been Rio, actually thinking about it, saying that he wasn't going to be affected in terms of his attacking prowess. He'd been restricted to playing in that particular position, but yeah, good start from West Ham. We've looked all right. Let us know where you're watching. I presume most of you are watching the game on the BBC. I'm not sure anyone else is carrying it tonight, unless you're abroad. Let us know what you're using to watch the game on. David O'Rourke says that I'd have rather he started and given Lanzini a rest, bring on Knockerflex when 2 ahead. There's confidence on the stream, boys. This is great tonight. Everyone's feeling it. This is good, which inevitably points to only one result, of course. You know what happens when West Ham fans get confident. Big week for the Hammers, of course, Rio. Liverpool this weekend. Off to Spain next week. What would you say would be an acceptable return from tonight and those 2 games?
3 points and 2 cup victories in the cup. Oh, we just put one wide there, Souček. Kind of fiddled its way through into the edge of the box and Souček just stabbed it wide. That's a promising move there.
It was actually. It was.
Oh, it's a great chance, isn't it? Yeah. Souček, of course. I mean, this was another thing, wasn't it? We're talking about the change in tactics, the slight shift, and it seemed to give Souček a little bit more of a lease of attacking life. Don't you? On Sunday, of course, we saw him score, but perhaps another example of it there, where he's arriving in the box, he's sitting on the edge of the box, whereas maybe 2 or 3 games ago he wouldn't have been in that far advanced position. But good chance though, Rio. Should have scored there.
I think he should have done. You know, it's I know he's stretching a little bit, but you expect Tom from that kind of distance at least get it on target. But I think you're completely right. I mean, having the 3 centre backs, allows both of them to sit, but not be as defensively responsible as necessarily they might have to be, because you've got the extra man to protect. So it allows Thomas to get back into these positions where he's been sorely lacking all season, hasn't he? Not for his own fault. Yeah. It's because we've accommodated Declan to be this new all-conquering, all-dominating, world-class Scott Parker-esque kind of midfielder. So much so that yesterday it became an all-conquering, all-dominating, world-class kind of pancake as well. If you looked at the social media side, I find that fascinating. That's the first time I've seen that, and I was impressed.
Well, you've lost me. What was it?
Same here.
Right. There's kind of doing this pancake batter thing in the old pan.
Right.
And it come out. You could tell it's with Declan Rice, but they flipped it over and it was like a full colour picture. Pancake Declan Rice. I'll have to find it and send it to the group because I'm not doing it justice. But they left the pancakes yesterday because my missus don't like them. I don't know, that might have kind of triggered me off a little bit because, I was deeply jealous but deeply impressed at the same time.
Did you not get the pan out and...
Yeah, it was a work of genius.
That's amazing. It's a bit like, sounds a bit like one of those Sunday sports stories where they find the face of Jesus, in a sausage roll or something.
We know you get these like the baristas in these coffee shops who make these works of art with a thing.
Yeah.
If the West Ham coffee shop starts selling Declan Rice macchiatos, they're going to sell a bomb. People are actually going to use the cafe for a change.
I don't know why we just don't
back into football.
An Indian or Chinese. Because then with the rice all the time.
I missed that.
Fried rice.
Declan fried rice.
Yeah, it's another trick they're missing. We can make our catering sales go for the roof if we tried something like that.
Yeah.
What was the flag at the 1980 Cup final? Was it Bonds Eats Rice? Remember the big flag that was out behind the goal?
Yeah, there was something like Bonds Eats Rice, isn't it? Devonshire's cream, so now, wasn't it?
Amazing. Pat Rice, wasn't it? Was that his name?
Yeah,
Pat,
that's right. Yeah.
No relation, of course. On the losing side that day. FA Cup final. I suppose it makes it reasonably topical. Still no goal. Still waiting for our first goal in the 13th minute. Polaroid saying it's a great start for us. Sorry,
something we can put on the thread here. There we go. People that are watching. Footballers named after rice. Not rice, food. So we've got Declan Rice.
Yeah. That's a good start. Devonshire, of course, as Rio's mentioned.
Yeah.
Darren Curry played for our reserves.
Nice.
Which also rhymes with rice.
I'm struggling. Got to say, you've got me there. Let us know if you know any footballers named after foodstuffs on the live stream. Tell us, help us out. We're struggling. We've only got 3.
Holland.
I'm trying to find this pancake. You lot carry on. I can't do an inspiration and find.
Holland. When he's sometimes known as Patsy Holland.
Patsy Holland? Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Pasty Holland.
Pasty Holland. Oh, I see. I'll get you. Polaroid's coming with Paolo One Chop. Not sure I'm having that one, Polaroid.
How about Paolo Di Canio beans?
Tony Curry from Mark English, of course. Another one. Yeah. Lord, let us know where we can see we're not on the ball here tonight, but I'm sure there's loads. Foodstuffs. Come on, there must be some peas or I don't know. Tony Parsnips. Remember him? Play for. Yeah. No, it's not true at all. I completely made it up. No idea. 14 and a half minutes gone anyway in this game of football. We're watching at the same time as talking about footballers. Hobo Changba says I saw Garth Crooks in a scone. The raisins were his eyes. I said scone. Is it scone or scone? There's a debate for the ages. Scone or scone? Rio, you a scone or a scone man?
It's a scone, isn't it? We're not.
Is it?
We're from the east end of London.
Oh.
We're not one of these Chelsea, boys who pronounce their little pinkies up wearing tea and all, tea and scones. No, it's scone.
Do you know what? I've always thought it's the other way around. I always thought scone was the posh version, and scone was the more kind of working class one. Well, oh, Nick, you're going to have to
Cream
be
tea
the.
and, well, you don't go to Devon and get, oh, would you like cream tea and scone? It's not, is it? It's like cream tea and stew. So, you know, that was a really crap West Country accent. We need Bristol on to.
Yeah, it was kind of a mix of two accents in one there. It
was a posh West Country accent.
Yeah. Let us know. Are you a scone man or a scone man? AGXM. Afghanet's ex-missus coming in with Steve Pot Noodle. Hey. One for you, Rio.
She's a lovely girl, but I'm not having Steve Potts' name taken in vain and used with that disgusting pile of absolute garbage that they pass off as food. Not having it.
Do you know those cakes that we are actually talking about are the fastest cakes in the world?
Fastest? Go on.
Yeah, because before you know it, it's gone.
Oh dear, oh dear. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. West Ham just had a corner. Didn't come to nothing. Kurt Zuma trying to get there. I like that, Nick. That's a good one. That's a good one. Food punnery. Mark English.
I found a pancake post on the West Ham's Facebook page.
All right.
Mark Noble's involved in this and all. This is just genius. I'll try to share it in the group, but it hasn't come up properly. I'm going to put it on the KUMB. Oh, I might. Shall I? Shall I put it on the KUMB Facebook group? This is genius at work. You know?
Go for it. Yeah, we can take a look then. While Rio's doing that, we've just seen Manuel Lanzini go to ground. He's all right. Though he's got up. Mark English, does Jeff Pike count? Well, you know, I mean, from a fiscal punnery angle, well, why not?
If it does, don't tell him.
He changed his first name to Full.
Speaking of seafood, there must be a crab or a fish somewhere that's played football, surely at some point.
Mark Fish?
Him? Yeah, that would do. That's the one. Goalkeeper, wasn't he?
That was centre half, wasn't it, with Bolton?
As well, yeah. His brother.
Oh,
Rio, we've got an R. What's going on?
Cross comes in the left-hand side from Antonio.
Oh, just over the bar.
Over the bar. Great move again.
John Crab, former Gillingham player.
There you go. There's your crab. Just that cross, just a little bit behind Bowen, wasn't it? By the looks of it.
Yeah, he's got his hand underneath it. He's leaning it back a little bit. But again, it's a great move down the side there. We're looking really promising here. This is all going to fall flat on its face in 10 minutes' time, isn't it? We've got to be more clinical. This was the problem on Sunday.
Yeah, we plenty of chances, didn't put them away, did we? Bowen, of course, missed that great opportunity, didn't he, Nick, in the second half when he was 1-on-1. Remember the one that we debated whether or not he would have been onside or not, but yes. He's getting in the right areas. That's for sure. And
he is indeed. He needs a goal. Come on, Bowen.
Just needs a goal. Mark English coming in with Billy the Fish. One for you Viz readers from back in the day. Yes. Going actually, I don't know.
It's still going. I followed the Viz Facebook page. It's hilarious.
Is old Roger on there and Roger's Profanisaurus, which always used to have me in absolute buckets of tears.
We've got a Southampton player down broken.
He's broken. Now, this is interesting, right? Because I saw something a couple of weeks ago. Someone was talking about Southampton, and we can watch to see whether it happens in this game. But apparently, there's a certain point midway through the second half, around about 65 to 68 minutes, where a Southampton player will go down injured, and he stays down for about 2 or 3 minutes. Maybe not quite that long, but a couple of minutes anyway. And apparently, this has been happening on a regular basis during their games. And at this point, the rest of the team all go over to Hassan Hootel, on the bench, and they all receive fresh instructions. And it's almost as if they've been using it as an extra, like half time, if you get what I mean, sort of halfway through the second half. So it'll be interesting to see whether they do that or not. I just mentioned it because I noticed it wasn't just Southampton, but both teams kind of levitated towards the respective benches on that occasion. But it's Shane Longdown, isn't it, on that occasion?
There's also another rumour that when they do that huddle thing, when they after the 65-minute mark, they take on board an energy gel. That was what I heard. And also, I had a different theory. Because they started the season so poorly, and they've come on leaps and bounds in the last couple of months, haven't they? They've been playing really well. When the clocks went back, when the clocks went back, before the clocks went back, sorry, did they get their timings wrong and take on the energy gel and kind of instructions about an hour early, so after the 4-minute mark?
Bert Troutman.
You never know. Bert Troutman. Oh, I like it. Now that is that's a story enough. I mean, again, we're kind of keeping on topic there because, of course, Bert played for Manchester City. I'm not sure what the year was. Would it be 1950 around then in the FA Cup final with a broken neck? Did he not? He was incredible story. There's a film out actually that I watched just before Christmas about his life and how he started out as a German soldier, was captured, wasn't he, during the Second World War, and was stationed here in the UK, and ended up playing for Man City, played for his local team before moving to Man City, and that was his big thing, wasn't it? He became an absolute legend at Main Road, and he, as I say, played in the FA Cup final with a broken neck. Could have died, but
I've got another one.
Days when they didn't have subs. Nick,
Memphis Depay.
I like that. That's a good one. That's a good one. That's my favourite so far. Memphis Depay. AGXM says I still get the mag. It's a bit crap now though.
And AGXM still gets Viz, and it's a bit crap now, apparently.
Yeah.
Or maybe she's just grown up.
I've got to say that's the only magazine that's ever made me sort of laugh in public. I remember sitting there back in the day at the bus station, back in the day when I used to get a bus home from work, and just chortling away at the likes of. Do you remember? I don't know if he's still in. Do you remember Rude Kid that used to be in Viz? It was just a cartoon, like a one-shot cartoon, and I can't repeat what he used to say, but it was just rude. That was the joke. Like to his teacher and his mother and stuff. Hilarious. And of course, Buster Gonad, Roger Melly, the man on the telly, Fat Slags, classics. Anyway, we digress. We're halfway through the first half. Still no goals. West Ham thoroughly on top so far. Two best chances. Souček, of course, after 10 minutes, real good opportunity to score. Couldn't quite find the target. Michael Antonio, across 8 minutes later, almost found Jarabane just a little bit behind him, so he couldn't quite get his neck muscles behind the ball and keep it down. Now,
have we mentioned Chelsea have equalised yet?
No, we haven't. Have they? Oh, that's
they equalised a little while back.
Who scored?
Chelsea.
Chelsea.
I'm scrolling through to see who scored. I'm not pronouncing that, just in case I get it wrong and get a call to races.
Is there there's
first
no
name Saul?
Saul.
Niguez.
That's the one. I weren't going to risk it.
Not one of their regulars, I would assume.
Signed on loan from Atletico Madrid when he started the season to much applause, and he's barely featured.
Certainly done a turn. So there is another game, isn't there, as well, taking place this evening, Liverpool and Norwich City, which is one of those that you look at and think, well, you might as well just get the pause panel out on that one. But I suppose you never know. Liverpool might rest a few players in that one. Yes, David. Yeah, he wasn't he? A prisoner of war. Going back to Bert Troutman. Incredible story. If you've not read it, there's a film and a book about his life. Very worth reading. It's an incredible story of how one northern town took him to their heart, despite being a prisoner of war at the time. 25 minutes.
David O'Rourke said they call him Saul. It's on his shirt. So yeah, I can understand why they call him Saul. When you're thick like me and can't pronounce foreign players' names, it could be a bit dicey, couldn't it?
Yes, indeed. Talking of opposition players' names, my pure old mind, I must confess, had a little sort of inward titter when you mentioned Will Smallbone playing alongside Shane Long.
Oh yes, my inner child did grin at that as well. And as it's supposedly a family show, I didn't really want to mention it.
No one got the big Willie in goal thing, no? Okay.
It's one long phallic joke, isn't it? Really, the Southampton team tonight. It's yeah. I'm sure there's some others in there, but
we're back to Viz. We're back to Viz.
We are
like the letter writers.
Yeah. Yes.
They were the highlights, weren't it? The letters, the handy hints.
They still publish those on Facebook. The letters in little pictures, yes. And the one I always find funny is a friend of mine who was going to get his name changed by deed poll to Michael. See you next Tuesday. Ha ha ha! What an idiot! And the letter writer was a bloke called Mike Hunt.
Has there been another goal at Kenilworth Road?
Oh, that was close from Southampton, by the way. Doesn't look like it so far. Let's have a butcher's.
Yeah, is that Shane Long that was played in there? Sorry, Adam Armstrong, wasn't it? In fact, this was a player we looked at, wasn't it, for a while last summer? Came from Blackburn, didn't he, Armstrong?
He's far too small for the David Moyes kind of ethos, isn't he? He's about 5'8". It makes me look short still, but he doesn't fit the David Moyes ethic of a lone forward.
No, he certainly doesn't. More like the Cotty, I suppose, but without the Machiavelli. You don't often see the little strikers these days, do you? Or ploughing a lone furrow in the Premier League.
Jermaine back in front the last of the pre, didn't he?
Sorry, I missed that.
Jermaine in front. Yep.
They have.
Jermaine Defoe's probably the last of a dying breed, isn't he? Then?
Oh, of course.
Them small strikers.
Yep. We've just seen Thomas Souček have another chance for West Ham. Not really much in it, but
not on target though. They all can.
On target, yeah. West Ham. How are we doing with the match stats so far, Nick? Have you got the BBC stats up?
The match stats are possession 58% to Southampton, 42 to us, 3 shots each, and none on target. But that will change because that Souček shot was on target. Well, it looks on target to me.
Ugh. Jesus.
What's up, Rio?
Slack back pass by Southampton.
Oh,
yeah. We conjured an effort, which really we should have buried. But we for once we capitalised on a bit of poor defending, but we're just not being clinical enough. It's a follow on from bloody Sunday. We're doing a lot of things right, but it's just that final execution. We're not just getting a goal.
Yes, scored for Luton.
Mark English, going back to the players named after food, has come up with Tony Cottage Pie. I'm not sure we can have that one, can we?
No.
Tony Cottage Pie.
That is awful. That is go and hang your head in shame. Let's have a look at the KUMB match thread.
What about Newcastle's former owner, Mike Mashley? No, it's pretty poor, isn't it? Yeah, let's go have a look at the KUMB.
Dimitri Pie, eh?
Dimitri Pie, yes, of course. How can we forget? Of course, real legend.
He still lives on this bloody shirt.
Even the match thread's quiet.
Everyone's watching it for a change, I suppose. It's on the BBC.
Oh, Jesus. We're one down.
Yeah, I've just took me through it, Rio.
Yeah.
You got to say, it's a hell of a strike. And I hate to blow my own trumpet, this bloke who's playing at left back for Southampton, I did recommend him in the the midst of the transfer thread last summer.
That was that. Nothing.
He's got the ball left hand side of the box. He's hit it from about 25, 30 yards, and it's flown into the top corner. You know, we've had all the play. They've had about 1 or 2 clear-cut chances. This is an absolute strike and a half, though. Fair play to him. Yeah, he's a good 20 yards out, 25 yards out. No one's
one of those goals you can't really blame on anyone because it was just fantastic, really.
Swerving and
one
dipping
touch and wallop in. All he took was one touch. Nobody would have had a chance to close him down. Nothing, mate. He just had some of that.
If we condense that transfer thread we have, which goes to 1,000 pages, we don't sign anyone in a real quality like me. I'll say pick a left back. That one. That's all you would have ended up as.
Reminds me of what's his name? Anderson's goal against Crystal Palace.
Yeah. Any blame on Areola, do we think, for that? Or is it just one of those that's just so good there's not much you can do?
It was moving in the air as well. He's hit it with real venom. No blame at all for anyone for me.
Every now and again it happens, doesn't it? Bit of quality.
Yeah. I guess so, but I guess that David Moyes will be looking back to the build-up and wondering why he was given so much room. Just judging by the lines on the pitch, that was bang on between one set of lines, which was the 24 to 30 yard mark. So I'm going for 27 yards as the distance that he's hit that from. So it is an exceptional strike, but I'm sure question marks will be asked by David Moyes about why he was, afforded so much time. But as we were saying, guys, it comes back to our own deficiencies, doesn't it, in the final third? Good chances, Souček, a couple of chances, Antonio, decent chance, cross a couple of minutes before the goal. And that's what happens, Rio, when you don't take your chances.
Absolutely. We're back on the attack, though. Ben Johnson gets the cross in, Antonio knocks it down. Again, Southampton clear. We rebuild possession. But, we can't afford to be so lax in front of goal. I mean, was it 3 or 4 chances? Bowen, Souček, Antonio, 1 in 3 of them has got to hit the back of the net.
Yep, absolutely. Just haven't done it. So we've got an uphill battle now.
On the match, saying that Fabianski would have saved that. Absolute rollock. I don't think there's many keepers in the league that would have saved that shot. I'm not. Maybe we left it a bit open. You know what I mean? But every now and again, you just got to concede that we've been sucker punched by an absolutely stupendous strike.
Yeah.
I ain't putting the blame on the keepers for that. I wouldn't even blame Fab for it if he was in goal.
33 minutes
we've got to have someone to blame. Seems to be the case nowadays. If somebody concede, it's got to be someone's fault.
Yep.
We're supposed to be moving to a more vegetable-based diet and green for the planet and all that.
Yes.
I'm claiming Diego Maradona.
Diego Maradona. Love it. Have you seen Polaroid's suggestion on the live stream? Paul Mintz.
Brill Parks.
Yeah, Brill. Sorry, yeah, and from Polaroid's Brill Parks. It's a lot more enjoyable than watching the game at the moment, anyway, because West Ham are losing. Where are we? 34 minutes gone. Southampton 1, West Ham United. David Moyes looking particularly unhappy on the sidelines. Oh, he doesn't look happy at all. Someone's in for a toasting at half time, you'd imagine, by the looks of it. But anyway, West Ham on the front foot again, looking to try and get back into this game, and hopefully we can nab one before half time. I mean, we've been giving goals away, haven't we, at the end of the first half? Like Newcastle, Leicester almost did it again, didn't we? Nick, against Wolves at the weekend, that chance for Hwang, wasn't it? Who
yes,
should have scored or at least hit the target. Maybe we can turn the tables today and do it the other way round.
Let's hope so, but it's not looking likely. We're toothless. We're like a Rottweiler that's been smacked in the mouth with a baseball bat. We look threatening, but we got no bite.
I like to put a disclaimer in. That Rottweiler was not owned by Kurt Zuma. He wasn't.
Or me. It was metaphorical. I have never hit a Rottweiler in the face with a baseball bat. Not yet.
Probably just as well, I would imagine. Dan
Well,
B, Thomas Schnitzelberger.
Easy.
Well, Ben
No, that's a
Johnson has
good
a
one.
dig from just inside the area, but into the side netting.
Oh,
Did we get awarded that shot on target, Nick? We have had one. Yeah, they obviously took your advice, the BBC, and gave us that one. Rio, that was a little bit I don't know, speculative, I think is the kindest word I can think to find for Ben Johnson for that one.
Yeah, I mean, I hate they're not one of our youngsters, but yeah, he played all right on Sunday, but he just seems completely lost defending, completely lost going forward. It's just one of them things. I'm not got the greatest confidence in him. Out of our multitude of right backs, I rate him number 4 at the minute.
Okay.
It's my man.
Behind who? You've got Soufal, Fredericks.
Soufal, Fredericks, Ashby. You know, I think Harrison Ashby looks far more accomplished when he played in the first team than Ben Johnson has for most of his starts, to be honest.
Rio. No. Just no.
Was it the Fredericks thing?
No, me and Ben Johnson, we got a team.
Okay. No,
I really, really rate him. It's probably just a smile. No, I do. I see. I rate him proper. Makes a change. We actually disagree on something, mate.
Yeah. That'll happen one day, dude. You know.
Oh well, yes.
Yeah. Should we start picking on the boss now?
No. He holds the keys, doesn't he? Mute, block. He still ain't letting
Hobo Changba has gone for back to our food-based footballers. Troy Beanie.
Linford Brisket.
Did you get?
Is a good one.
I like Thomas Schnitzelberger. I thought that was great
Yes.
from Dan. That's my favourite tonight, I think, so far. 38 minutes gone. Still, Southampton 1, West Ham United 0.
Nearly through again, then and all. Declan Rice doing the Scott Park return. See, we're passing it about half all right.
Yeah, our build-up plays fine. It's just that final execution.
You would have thought we might have needed a striker. You never know. Oh, Steve Palmer's just joined, so we're going to score in a minute.
Oh, it's all right. We're saved. We're saved. Welcome, Steve. Good to have you on. Interesting point. I mean, I don't know if this bears out much with what we've seen tonight. I think it probably does, actually. But in Jack Elderton's roundup of the Wolves game, he was talking about how West Ham are very, very reliant on the left-hand side as opposed to the right. And I think we've seen that again tonight, haven't we, really? I mean, all right, we just saw Ben Johnson with that sort of rather tame effort. But the best from us tonight has definitely come down the left, wouldn't you say? I mean, Pablo Fornals, Antonio when he's pulling out wide. What do you reckon?
Yeah, most definitely. And also, thanks for the spoiler, because I ain't watched the bloody podcast and I ain't got to have a chance to watch it till tomorrow. So that's during my morning's viewing. We're back on the Marvel films instead. Right, so our left-hand side is much more potent. When Creswell's involved on Southampton on the attack, they've got a man over and they've ballsed it up, thank God. Man over there, they should have gone 2-0 up.
Oh.
But when Fornals and Creswell combine, it's a thing of beauty at times. And now Fornals' work rate up and down that left-hand side. Yes, he is my favourite current player, as if everyone doesn't know. He's just majestic. Creswell's delivery is brilliant. We haven't got that same kind of potency down the right-hand side. I mean, I hate to beat Ben Johnson up with a stick because, that's what we do with Rottweilers instead. But, he just doesn't have that conviction going forward for me. Soufal's been off form, but we just haven't got that link-up play to developing down that right-hand side. And it's a bit of a worry, to be honest.
Oh,
which is interesting because two of our
Declan Rice got us out of jail earlier on a Southampton attack. Looked like they were clean through, but he's been a bit Bobby Morris there and just run in the box, nicked it off his toe and controlled it out for a clearance. So he saved our blushes. That was about 2 minutes ago.
I was going to say, I mean, what struck me about that particular move was how when the ball was played down the left wing, Craig Dawson was almost playing as a conventional right back, and the ball was played into the channel where you'd expect him to be. And yeah, I mean, some excellent defending by Declan to come and nick that off them, but pretty strange stuff. But I guess that's the way when you're playing the three at the back. You know, you can afford for one of the three centre halves to come out into a less traditional position and play a little bit more advanced and try and pick up the ball in those areas. But it's strange to see Craig Dawson that far up. And
they're just doing a replay of that now. That was excellent from Rice.
Yeah, I mean, where's Dawson doing out there? What is he doing? It's bizarre. And actually, I'm going to give credit to Issa Diop as well, because he just stood his man up there.
Yeah,
didn't dive in. And if he commits himself, there's a simple pass to the right hand side, and they're in. But that split second, I think Diop's done a good job there.
Better team since the goal as well, haven't they? Perked them up a bit.
Yeah, definitely. Mark English has come in with the sublime and the ridiculous in the space of 2 posts. He's coming with going back to our theme of the night, as it's now developing into the food-based puns. Come up with Trevor Cherry, of course, which those of you who remember that great Leeds team of the early 70s remember. And then staying with the 70s, he's given us Stan bowl of cereal.
I've got a couple now. I've just thought of a couple.
Go on.
There used to be a Rangers striker called Nacho Novo.
Nacho Novo, of course, yes.
And a keeper called Dean Gherkin. Oh,
there was. Was it Hull? Somewhere like that, or Bradford?
Yeah, some nondescript.
He was a bit of a woolly.
Yes.
Ugh, another chance wasted. Down the right-hand side, Rice surged forward, got back to Antonio, got it caught under his feet, and it petered out of nothing. Back to the food pump.
Who's the Palace player? Darren Pilchard.
Darren Pilchard. You just made that up.
Well, no, there was one.
Berger.
Darren Pitcher, wasn't there?
Patrick Berger. Yeah, of course. Forget that. Decent. I mean, yeah. Again, it's Declan Rice involved, isn't it? Just going back to the game briefly there, and terrible pass that Rice picked up, surging run from inside his own half into the box, finding Antonio, and Antonio turning and twisting, and yeah, it's a nothing shot. It's a good block by the 2 Southampton players, and it comes to nothing. But looks like we're going to be heading into half-time, chaps behind, unless we can do something miraculous in these last couple of minutes in the first half here.
Couldn't it? A barn door with a cow's banjo.
Yeah, it feels like that, doesn't it? At the moment, it's not really tested the Southampton goalkeeper, who is, as we said, Willie Caballero tonight so far.
So we've got Willie Smallbone.
Yeah, yes, we did mention that, didn't we, earlier?
We got Cock.
Couple of wheels. Yes.
There we go. Players with names and body parts. We've got Willie Caballero.
Does that count?
Robin Van Persie. Someone pulled the plug, quick.
Yeah. 44. Just have we had any indication of how long we've got added on? I've not seen the ball go up.
Nothing's coming.
Nothing shown on screen. But
the BBC, they've got to their figures anyway, haven't they?
John Bumstead.
2 minutes.
That's
Which
good.
seems excessive. I can't remember any kind of real stoppages apart from that. There's one Southampton player went down with his premature energy gel, but he wasn't down that long, surely.
Yeah.
Yes. No subs, is there? No, it
Julian Dix.
seems a bit generous. Julian Dix.
Yeah, we're going West Ham route. John Dick, Alan Dickens.
Erhol Verkovic. Tony Mitchell on the thread there.
What about sticking with the genitalia inspired names? What about the World Cup winner himself, Alan Ball?
That's
Terry Cochrane. I could really stoop to a really low level, but I refuse to because we'd get kicked off air. We would.
There's that Russian one, isn't there? Evgeny Bolokov.
I'm just catching up on Tony Mitchell's earhole Berkovic. Excellent. 2 minutes yet. So are we there? Are we at half time yet, guys? I know you're a little bit ahead.
Not yet. No, I've got 30 seconds of play left for me.
All right. Okay.
Same as 30 seconds.
But
Tony
looks like
Woodcock.
West Ham are going to be. Who? Tony Woodcock.
Yeah.
These aren't body parts. This is just they're all genitalia inspired, aren't they?
Erhol Berkovic, isn't it?
No, I suppose not. Not
John
if you ran a dodgy graft.
Hartson.
Yes. But no, not been a great half for West Ham so far. We'll go over the finer points of what's happened in Winter, of course. Yeah, old England manager, of course.
Speaking of genitalia, Small Bone nearly scored there.
That would have been typical. Yeah, looping shots.
Not forgetting the referee, Paul Alcock.
Paul Alcock. Is that half time yet? Are we there?
We're there. We're there.
All right. Okay. So, just update my notes. That is the half-time whistle. Southampton 1, West Ham United 0. And in this FA Cup fifth round tie at St Mary's, West Ham really the stronger of the two teams for the first half hour at least. Thomas Souček had a chance after 10 minutes. Really should have hit the target when he actually it was quite similar to Hwang's effort. Talking of body parts, Hwang. Can we use that one? Not sure. Yeah, similar to the effort for the Wolves man at the stroke of half time on Sunday, a shot from just outside the box that narrowly missed the target. Mikel Antonio cross 8 minutes later, looking for Jared Bowen, just behind Bowen, and couldn't quite get his neck muscles round it and over the top, and the header went harmlessly over the bar. Armstrong then had an effort for Southampton, 27 minutes, and a minute later, Thomas Souček had another effort, this time a bit of a dribbler, really, from the edge of the box. No difficulty for Caballero. And then West Ham stunned in the 31st minute when Rio's favourite fullback, the Southampton's defender, Romain Perraud, picked up the ball, it was about 30 yards from goal, a couple of steps forward, unleashed an absolute howitzer that drifted away from Alphonse Areola and into the top corner of West Ham's net to give Southampton the lead at half-time. The only other real effort after that, a Johnson shot from an acute angle that just sort of hit the side net and didn't really trouble the Southampton goal. Small bone, of course, that effort in the dying seconds of the first half. But West Ham a goal behind at the break. Plenty to do in the second half. Let's see what the guys thought of what we did in the first half there. Nick, I'll start with you. West Ham's first half performance. What did you make of it? More of Sunday, really, but without the luck in front of the goal?
I don't think it was as good as Sunday. I thought it was all puff, bluster with very little quality. And the only bit of quality was the Southampton goal, really. But neither side was particularly good. First half hour, we shaded it. I would guess if I'd had to commit. But it's been a bit of a boring game, really. Hence why all of these superlatives and stupid word games that we're doing of male genitalia and food. Kind of sums up how the game's been.
Yes,
we don't deserve anything. If we're so wasteful in the final third that we don't deserve a beating. See what I did there?
Yes, I did see what you did there. Rio, so, Southampton 1, West Ham United 0. And for the record, can I just say, I've just verified your pancake post on the KUMB.com Facebook groups. If anyone wants to see what Declan Rice and Mark Noble,
it's a work of genius.
It is. I tell you what, the Declan Rice one's amazing. The Mark Noble, he reminds me of someone else. I'm not quite sure. He's the eyes. They belong to someone else. They're not Nobles, but anyway, go on there and have a look. KUMB.com Facebook. Southampton 1, West Ham 0. Rio, first half. What your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, it's a little bit of continuation of a Sunday for me, but the latter part of Sunday, where tired minds, tired legs creeps in. We offered most of the play in that opening period. 3 or 4 clear-cut chances, which we've spurned. I think Nick was right. I mean, neither side really deserved to go in because we were so wasteful in that final, the attacking part of the game that we didn't deserve to score. And Southampton haven't really offered anything at all, other than the Perot wonder goal and capitalising a couple of really sloppy passes from us. But a draw would have been a much fairer result. But we've got it all to do. If we're going to win this game, we're going to have to do it the hard way, and also potentially the energy sapping and game killing in view of what we got coming up in front of us. It's going to make things a lot harder. The last thing we need is extra time and penalties when we got a trip to Anfield next on Saturday, then a trip to Spain next Thursday. But if we're going to win this game, it's looking like we're going to have to do it the hard way.
Okay, good stuff. Thank you.
Frank LeBeuf and Massimo Macaroni.
And Big Willie Young.
Big Willie Young.
Again, I mean, we're staying on topic. I guess FA Cup, of course, Willie Young.
Andy Armstrong.
1980.
Arm. That's body part.
Yeah.
And if we're talking, still male genitalia, then you got Ben Johnson, Adam Johnson.
Yes.
There's got to be a footballer somewhere in the world with the surname Minge.
Isn't
I've called him a few.
Plays for Villa.
Well, he is one. Definitely he is one.
Yeah, it's close enough. Should we have a look at the two forums and see what's going on? I've got Saints Web up. Nick, are you still looking at the KUMB.com forum?
Yeah, I last saw it on page 18. It's now on page 24, so I'm going to go somewhere.
We must be losing.
In the middle. I believe we'll score at least once. Gandhi Brudson. Don't half read some shit on here by Big Fat Sam. The ginger girl with a laughing emoji by Smut. So we must have missed the ginger girl somewhere. With the comment of her mum will be so proud. So we've obviously missed something regarding the ginger girl in the crowd at Southampton. If someone can enlighten us.
Yeah.
What else we got? It's a typical KUMB losing match thread, really. Ben Rama and Vlasic needs to come on for Vlasic needs to come on for Lanzini.
Okay.
Hammers 92 saying it's been a bloody good game to watch. Not from where I'm sitting, mate. And that's really it's all much of a muchness at the moment. Not sure how we've managed to walk off at half time losing this. That's Bubbles.
Yeah.
That's really about it. Lost it after their goal. Hope we find it again in the second half, as we were a better team until then. Yep. If we had a striker, we'd be home and dry. Now, nobody foresaw this coming, did they? So,
Okay. Good stuff.
So to summarise it tonight, according to Bend It Like Repka, Antonio Souček, Fornals, Areola and Johnson are all rubbish. Declan must be embarrassed wearing a claret and blue. And we're already out because scoring 2 goals is impossible. Have I missed anything? To which SH has replied, yes, Putin has fired nukes on our way. And that's a bit of an oxymoron. Somebody said we need to get some quality. We need some quality. Get Ben Rama on. Well, if you need quality, you ain't going to ask Ben Rama, are you?
Well, we certainly need someone out there, don't we, to liven it up a little bit. Quick thoughts from Saints Web, which is our chosen opposition forum tonight. Uncle Albert says, "How the hell are we winning?" Well, we wondered that ourselves, actually. To be fair, CB Fry says a pretty decent half in the end. We gave West Ham some opportunities on a plate, so we still need to sharpen up in the second half if we want to make it through. What else have we got? Jimmy D says a bit more sloppy at times than the first team. All right, rubbing it in, Jimmy. Why don't you? Lucky to get away with a couple of chances, but good to see us recognisably playing like Southampton. What an utterly fantastic goal that was too. Shay says, I thought we were mostly poor. Great goal, obviously, but other than that, West Ham carved us open 2 or 3 times. Some great chances and we created almost nothing. The important thing now, though, is that we've got something to hold on to. So our lack of penetration really doesn't matter as long as we can keep a clean sheet. I'd make a lot of subs right now. And Victi Abnomen says it was littered with mistakes, but there was also a lot of really good stuff there in that half. For our reserves to be beating a full-strength, top-class opposition is amazing. And Pamplemousse says West Ham have been terrible. Going forward, we haven't been much better. Long and Dnipro, off for Brozier and Redmond. Keep Armstrong on because off the ball, he's doing well. So, I mean, bearing in mind they're winning, they don't seem too happy either, apart from those that believe that their second team is currently beating West Ham's first. Quick jump into the live chat. And Simon Parker's actually gone back to something we were talking about before the start of this game, saying that...
What we do, you've got to say the one above that, though. Come on, that's got to be worthy of mention.
We said that. I said that. Did you not hear? I came up with that one.
Did you?
I
missed it. Oh, damn. All right, go on, carry on.
Rio. It's funny, though. I mean, if I may say, well done, Homer. Good stuff. You probably came up with it before I didn't see it. Simon Parker, I'll give this to you first, Rio, to approach. Simon Parker says, what do you think about the Chelsea situation? And do you feel that Chelsea have been used to launder money, hence their loan policy? We touched on this before the game, but just to summarise your view on that situation there at the bridge.
I think that's absolutely spot on. For Abramovich, it was a bit of a plaything. But the longer it went on, the more unsavoury it became. And someone of who I like as a post and both as a person mentioned on one of the discussions on the forum that London has become virtually the money laundering capital of the world over the last few years.
Yeah, and
Chelsea FC and Roman Abramovich have been the epicenter of that for me. And the last week's occurrences and what's been going on, the disgusting nature of it has really brought to light, in lieu of the government's actions and the amount of times they've had to kind of impose sanctions on Russian banks based in London, Russian oligarchs based in London. You know, it's just brought it home even more, hasn't it? That there's far too much influence from abroad in this country. The amount of money going through English banks, British banks, that they're having to hit a nation as big and as powerful as Russia at home, and it's making a really big impact. That's just tantamount to the fact that Chelsea FC have been the front for a major dose of money laundering in this country, and they've been for far too long. We've all made jokes about Chelsea FC in the past, and when a Russian goes to prison, there'll be what. But it's coming home to roost, isn't it? No, all them jokes sadly have hit home, and it's taken an absolute tragedy for that to occur.
Yep. I mean, what do you make about that specific allegation regarding the loan policy? I mean, that's an interesting angle that Simon presents there.
Yeah, again, it was brought up on the forum the last time. I will confess to everybody watching today, as a moderator, I should be on that forum as much as I can, virtually every day, because I enjoyed the debate about West Ham and football. I enjoyed the side debates about other bits and pieces like music, the general chit chat and the snug. I love it. This forum's been a big part of my life for the last 20 odd years. But I've negated my duties the last week because I suffer from a bit of anxiety. I have done for quite a long while now. And with all the stuff that's happening on in the world, I just couldn't draw myself away from watching some of the things unfold. I just need to have a clean break. So I apologise to everybody else here today that I've negated that. I haven't been on the forum as much as I'd like to. But yeah, the whole thing with Chelsea FC, the way they've been reacting, someone said the last time I checked on the forum, if it wasn't for the fact that Abramovich, if he did get sanctioned and sanctioned fully, Chelsea would be in debt to about 1.7 billion.
Yeah.
They would be in severe trouble, virtually bankrupt overnight. That policy is absolutely disgusting. There's no other word for it. It's absolutely gross and disgusting the way they've acted as a football club over the last 25 years, 30 years.
All right. Well, I hope that answers your question, Simon. I should just say, Rio, no worries at all about not being around for the last. I mean, you've done the last 25 years or whatever it is, so I guess you're entitled to a break anytime, my friend. And you take as much time off as you need, to recharge your batteries. And
one transfer window's normally enough for me to crack up.
We've been joined by another one of our number, another long-standing member of the moderating team. Here he is. He's in the dark. Oh, he's gone.
Am I here?
Chalks, are you still there? You are there. You are. We've got you.
Troy Winston.
How you doing, buddy? Good to see you.
Hang on, I've got to turn a light on. I'm in the car. I'm at Joe's training.
What did you make of that first half? Did you manage to see any of it, or have you been watching?
Yeah, I've got it on my iPad. I thought we played really well.
Right.
I think it's just a worldie of a goal. I think we're looking really good. I'll be more than happy if we play like this in Seville next week. Sorry, go on, mate.
Sorry, I was just going to say. So you think we've been a bit unlucky in that first half? Well, we certainly started the stronger team, didn't we? We were up out the blocks really well.
Yeah, I think we're playing some really nice football. We just, they've scored a worldie. That's not going to happen every week. I think we'll go on to win this 3-2, 3-1, which is the kiss of death.
Well, everyone's predicted a win tonight so far. So join the club, mate.
I thought we'd lose before the game because, Southampton are a good side playing well. But, you look at the team that they've picked.
Yeah.
We've picked a strong side. Why is Cresswell not playing? Is he injured?
Not sure. I didn't see the reason for his omission, but I just assumed it was tactical from what we'd seen. I don't know. If someone can confirm if there's been any confirmation, please let us know on the stream. But were you surprised to see him out anyway? Yeah,
it's disappointing that. But Joe made a good point on the way to his training in the car when the teams come out.
Yeah,
he said that to him it looks like, other than Cresswell, this is pretty much going to be the team for Seville.
Yeah,
and he can see Saturday. The priorities he thinks are the Europa League, FA Cup, then the league. Which I think he's made a good point there. I can't see that we're going to go out with all our big guns on Saturday.
That's interesting. Do you think we might rest one or two for Seville next week?
I think he might do because, like Joe said, why wouldn't you be playing your Ben Ramas tonight?
Yeah.
Ben Rama will more than likely, I would have thought, start on Saturday.
Okay.
Which, as I say, it lends me to think that that the priorities really are of the 2 cup competitions and then the league.
Yeah.
I mean, let's be honest, we're not going to finish 4th. So, you know, I think he's talking. Well, he talks a lot more sense than Rio anyway. Miserable. Yeah. I switch this on, and all I can hear is Rio. Wait, where is he?
He's above. He's up there.
I'm thinking that more knob related footballers. You know, you've been in your element in the first half. You would.
Right. Honestly, I'm on my way round to give you a right good slap. And you notice I haven't said a swear word yet. See, I'm being a good boy.
I'm really impressed, mate. I mean, it's been 3 minutes so far, and not a single profanity's left your.
I know.
Left your orifice.
I'm gonna have to go in a minute because I've promised Joe that I'll watch the last half hour of his training. So I'm gonna sneak over there with the iPad as well.
Yeah, you missed earlier, no, Chalks, that the fact that I declared my love for you.
Did you really?
On. Yeah, and you're gonna slap me.
Oh,
what an
bless you.
absolute character you are, ain't you? Eh?
You beautiful
like Ray
little,
Winterton, you're trying to make the big daddy and all.
you beautiful little egghead.
We were actually discussing a possible family link as it goes earlier, Chalks. Did you know this, that Rio's relatives who played for West Ham went under the surname Chalkley?
Really?
Yep.
There you go.
Well, I never. Well, that'll be the 1% of you that's a little superstar, won't
it? Yeah.
Right, fellas, I'm going to love you and leave you. I was just
all right, mate. Well,
hello.
listen, if you get the chance to pop in later, feel free, come in and let us know if you're about at the end of the game, and hope it goes well. Good luck to Joe. Doing some great stuff down there, isn't he, at the moment?
He's doing really well. Yeah, really, really well. Yeah. And just quickly, I know, just in case he's got the stream on, sending all my love to Chaz.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right.
Big love to Chaz. Well, there you go, mate. We'll see you soon. Take care.
Yeah, see you soon, fellas.
See you later, mate.
There it is. There's our man Chalks, making a rare appearance on the stream. While the game has, of course, restarted. We're 4 minutes into the second half and a bit, and I think is that Souček down with
he's down.
He's taken an elbow there. It's quite a nasty one.
And the red blade on, as they have a habit of doing when it's our players getting donked.
It's Diallo who swung his left elbow back, and what do you make of that, Nick? Do you think there's any malice in that, or that's completely accidental?
I didn't actually see it. I was looking for more content that we could randomly muse during the second half, and missed it. So yeah, I have.
Did you happen to see it? Yeah. Rio, did you catch that at all? The incident?
Yeah, it looked like there was a lot of malice in that completely. Got a little entanglement now. The BBC have not shown a proper full replay of this, but for me, Diallo's actually come down with his elbow and he's caught Thomas right on the kind of. He's got quite pronounced eyebrows, hasn't he? Anyway, he's got boxer's eyebrows, and they've caught him right on the tip there. And there's a couple of stitches going in. He don't look in a good way. And it's the last thing we need. We're our kind of threadbare squad.
Yeah, we haven't got Noble on the bench tonight, have we?
No Mark out there tonight. Well, I'm just trying to see.
He's walking off rather gingerly, but he's holding it like mopping up the blood. Yeah, he's probably sliced him here with that.
I've got to say, I'm looking at. I did see one very brief replay, and the way he swung his elbow back doesn't sort of lend me to believe that was just him trying to balance himself. He's really swung it back with some force. Yeah.
It wasn't a natural action, was it?
No, absolutely not. And I'm surprised that they've given that. I'm assuming VAR is in play tonight because it's a Premier League ground. I'm surprised that no one's taken another look at that, or if they have, that no one's taken any action. But anyway, Souček is off the pitch receiving treatment, stitches by the looks of things. We're just seeing Ben Rama warming up. I'm not sure if Souček's going to be coming back, but if not, that'd be a bit of a blow, wouldn't it, Nick? Really, because he hasn't got that close, but he's had our two best chances tonight.
Yeah.
Also, when we went to the bench, it looked like Ben Rama was the one warming up and getting ready to get like change to come onto the pitch. You would have thought a
Yeah.
natural replacement would be Alex Crowell, but clearly Moyes doesn't trust him one little bit, which I think is a little bit harsh. He had a bit of a stinker at Kidderminster, though, you've got to say. But every time I've seen him elsewhere, he ain't done that bad. The game up at Old Trafford in the early rounds of the League Cup, I thought he played reasonably well. He had a good game.
Oh, that was close from Ward-Prowse then. That was nearly 2-0.
Yeah, it's a poor clearance from was it Lanzini, I think, and
Yeah.
then
He
straight to
sliced
half
it.
of Ward-Prowse.
I think the keeper would have had it covered, mine.
And Ben Rama's off.
Yeah, he would have had. Yeah,
Yeah,
the keeper would have saved that. I think Ben Rama's on.
So that's the end of Thomas Souček's night. But it'd be interesting to see that again, because I totally agree with you, Rio. I thought there was a great deal of malice in that, and I'm surprised that no one's taken a look at it. But anyway, Souček is off, and side Ben Rama on the pitch. Of course, left the field against, who was it? Newcastle, wasn't it? The Newcastle game, when he went off uttering some words in David Moyes' direction to the tune of "Not Again" or something like that. I think it was the 18th time he's been substituted this season. But he's on the pitch tonight, and West Ham need a performance from him. 37 minutes to go. West Ham 1 down here against Southampton. Hobo confirming for those of us that haven't got any sound up that VAR did look at it and assumed it was okay. I'm surprised at that, Nick. I've got to say, I thought that was a bit naughty.
Yeah, I
think
did get to see a little bit of it, and I rewound it basically. And no, how that's not a card, I've got no idea. No idea at all. It was awful.
Yeah. Anyway, play continues. He's still on the pitch, Diallo, and it's still Southampton 1, West Ham United 0, and the first big chance of the half falling to the home side. Ward-Prowse just wide. A really, really poor clearance, Rio, wasn't it, from Manuel Lanzini straight into Ward-Prowse's path there.
Yeah, we just had a little moment there.
Oh, Antonio.
Brilliant ball by Diop. Brilliant play by Fornals, and Antonio does what he does best, doesn't it? He just balls up the simple stuff.
Unbelievable.
Not quite sure what he was trying to do there, actually, looking at that. Well, was he trying to put it on his right foot or pass it to someone? It's strange. But David, going back to your point about Krul, Rio, David saying that I think with Krul, if he plays X amount of games, you have to buy him, and Moyes just doesn't rate him. He'd like to use the body, and I'm sure he doesn't want to pay for it, which kind of makes sense. But I'm with you on that. I mean, that Kidderminster game, I mean, it was one of those games where nobody shone, apart from Declan Rice maybe when he came on at half time. But I mean, Noble was atrocious. Diop was atrocious. Cresswell was atrocious. Even Jared Bowen didn't do anything at all. It was just one of those games where we all look poor. So I think it's difficult to judge him by that. But also the fact that when you're playing, 5 minutes here, 5 minutes there, not really getting a start, it's difficult, isn't it, to make an impression? Because I guess when you do get a start, you're going to be trying that much harder to try and make an impression so that you get another opportunity. But certainly looks like Moyes doesn't think. I mean, if you're not going to use him in these circumstances, when are you going to use him? But anyway, we need to go. But it's looking better. Got to say, the last few minutes, gentlemen, West Ham have been on the front foot and still not really had a decent effort. But we're getting closer again. It's getting more like the first 15-20 minutes of the first half, Nick, in some way.
And again, so I was reading the comments on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm just saying that Liverpool scored against Norwich, by the way, 1-up. I'm just saying West Ham beginning to pick up now. Last 5 minutes or so, looking a bit more like we did at the start of that first half. Not really, no real shots or inroads as of yet, but got a lot more possession, keeping the ball now.
Yeah, I mean we've got a corner. We're good at set pieces. Shame as Souček's gone off because he'd be handy for this. Fornals is taking it over on the left. Diop's come up.
Bowen had a shot. It's deflected about another corner. I don't know how close that was. Yeah, I think that could have been on target there, but Southampton defender blocked it. Another corner the opposite side.
Yeah, to be fair, we've done all right out of that because they weren't the best of shots.
Corner come in swing to the near post. Zuma gets there before the keeper, but he's so under it, he's probably gone for a conversion.
Yeah, off top of his head.
Yeah.
Off top of his head to rose head.
Yeah, that's a great chance, isn't it? That really is a good chance. A free header at the near post. Is it Zuma? He's just got to get it on target, hasn't he? Yeah, Zuma gets in front of Caballero. All he's got to do is deflect it into the net and put it over the bar from, 3 yards out. Got to take these chances, chaps. Got to take them. We have a substitution.
We're going back to food now because there's substitutions called Liveramento.
Liveramento.
If only Stevie Bacon was there to take a photo of him.
We'd have liver and bacon.
Replacing Walker Peters in the 57th minute for Southampton. Second change of the match. West Ham, of course, just made one, didn't we? So Ben Rama coming on for the stricken Thomas Soucek. But massive chance for probably our best chance of the game so far. You'd have to say that one. But we're getting closer. Hopefully we can make the most of this little spell of pressure and do something. What we don't want to do, of course, is do what we did in the first half. And we almost did there, didn't we? Southampton countering on the right-hand side, putting the low ball into the middle. But fortunately, as the ball came into the centre, Brozier, of course. Now, when did he come on? Actually, I'm saying that. But when did Brozier come on? He started on the bench.
Must have been half time, surely. Some brilliant footwork there from Lanzini and down to Bowen. Bowen did equally well, forced another corner. We're looking bright, guys. We're looking bright.
Yeah.
Now, we've reacted to the goal in the right way now. Regrouped the second half. He's probably given a volley at half time. We're on the front foot, yeah? Bowen's going to take it. Again, into Zuma. We're in. We're in. Come on. Antonio just equalised.
Nice.
Yeah, it's a goal. It's a goal.
Exactly the same place. He put it like 2 minutes ago. This time, Zuma got underneath it a little bit, headed it down.
Yep.
A little deflection in and around the area, but Antonio mops up and we're level.
Indeed we are. 59 minutes. It's game on, gentlemen and ladies. Southampton 1, West Ham United 1. Michail Antonio scored. At last.
It's the optic world there, hooking that ball back there.
Yeah, it was coming, chaps, wasn't it? We were saying in the lead up to that West Ham were looking bright and beginning to make chances again. We just needed that one opportunity. Nick, there it is. It's game on all over again.
Well, to be fair, we've needed about 50 opportunities, to be honest. Yeah. It's a goal, it's a bit scrappy. Simple tapping. I'll take it all day long.
And we're off again. Here we go. Antonio's through. Brilliant ball through to him. He checks back. Mickey, Jesus Christ.
All square at Luton as well. Timo Werner has equalised for the blue side of London. Or red, whatever way you want to look at it.
West Ham really got Southampton on the ropes at the moment. I just want to go back to that goal though. Rio, talk to me about Willie Caballero. I mean, he completely fluffed that corner, didn't he? When he came in, it looked like he could just pluck that out of the air.
But it was 2 consecutive corners from the same way. Bowen put them in, both in exactly the same spot. The first time, Caballero's nowhere near it, and Zuma made an absolute hash of it. This time, Zuma got a little bit on it, but Caballero, he was just flapping, wasn't he? You know?
Yeah. I mean, and the fact that both of those corners have been played into that near post kind of suggests that Moyes and the team have looked at that and thought, well, you know, if he's out there tonight, then that's really where we want to be putting the pressure on. So I think that's good. That's huge credit to the entire team, not just the players, but the backroom staff that have obviously indicated or figured out that there's a potential issue there for the Saints keeper. But good stuff. Identified a weakness. That's what I'm trying to say. It's a bit easier, isn't it? Nick, where are we going to go from here? What did you fancy us now? Last half hour?
No, do you know what? Right, I'm at a point. I want us to either score again or them to score again because this team can't do another half hour of football.
Yeah, that's the worry, isn't it? Yeah.
I want it over. Whatever way, I want it over at 90 minutes because we've got Seville. And that's what I'm excited for. And I'm going to be watching it in a hotel room in Darlington on my phone.
In
Whilst
where?
we're out, whilst we're
Darlington?
out there. Yeah.
Everything about that sounded romantic until you said the word Darlington.
Go on. Why Darlington?
Well, because I'm going to York. And the hotels
Right.
in York were sort of ridiculously expensive because you've got Leeds playing at home that day. I think they're playing Man United. No, Man United are at home. Seems like all the Northwest teams are playing at home.
Right.
And I know York's sort of further east, but it ain't far, is it? From there, kind of thing.
Yeah, it's
That's
not a million miles.
country. Anyway, the rooms in York were expensive. So I booked in Darlington instead, which were like £70 a night cheaper.
All right.
So I'll be driving. I know it's like an hour each way, but I'm saving myself 50 quid by not.
Well, you could have saved yourself another 70 quid and stopped with me, you silly bugger.
Oh, I didn't think of things like that.
I mean, it's slightly further away than Darlington, but you know, you're always welcome, mate. You can always.
You know what? I just
jaunts.
totally forget, because especially
Just ask.
I remember now. You've got a freezer full of lamb and all that would have been tidy.
Oh yeah, yeah. We're actually waiting for a bit of venison to come in as well. How about that?
Oh dear.
That's a fantastic change up.
Mm.
Yeah, I'm deeply jealous, mate. I love York. York's my second favourite place in England.
Yeah, I'm doing the Choo Choo Museum and then going for a stroll around the medieval bit if it ain't raining.
Yeah. No, there's so much good stuff to wear to see. Can't fail to go wrong in York.
The last
Mark
time
my
was in
words, I
York-
will.
Yeah, the last occasion on which I was in York, I mean, this is how long ago it was. It was the day we smashed Chelsea and sent them down into the playoffs, where I think they were beaten by Middlesbrough. So
That was
that must be about
1988, wasn't it? 87, 88?
Yeah, 87. I think it might have been 87, Rio. Yeah, 87 or 88. It was one of those years. But I was coming home on the coach from Newcastle and we stopped at York and I managed to find a Curry's or whatever it was, Dixon's at the time, and saw the score come because it was an early kickoff that day. I think it was a bank holiday Monday, I think.
What
Yeah, it was bank holiday Monday, 4-1, wasn't it?
Yeah. Nick?
I think that was a challenge by Dalton there in the box. They was screaming penalty, but no, it was a supremely timed goal-saving challenge. Excellent bit of defending.
I've just seen that, and that is assuming that's legitimate, and we'll assume it is because the game's gone, and that is quite some tackle. And it's on things like that, Rio. That
hang on, they're looking at you now.
They're looking at it. I
Right.
think it's a penalty.
Okay.
If they're going to look at this, it's a pen.
Well, Borgia's not happy. He's complaining.
No
referee.
way. No. That was sublime. How can that not be a tackle? That.
Let's have another look. I'm not sure.
No.
I'm not sure. I think we'll be lucky to get away with this one.
He's not touched the ball for me.
No, that's
But
the
he
problem.
came out with it, didn't he? Here we go.
He come out
look at
with it, but
I think that's a penalty.
See,
We'll
I
see.
think that's a very good challenge. Nah, bollocks, that ain't a penalty. It's going to be given.
yeah, the longer it goes on, it's going to be in it.
Saying that, if you watch it in slow motion, Dawson doesn't make a challenge. He goes to ground, but Borgia just trips over his leg. You could read this either way, couldn't you? It's an interesting one. I think he'll give it.
Now going to the screen on the side.
Oh, here we go.
Oh, there you go. That's never a good sign. Never
He's
a
going
good
to
sign.
check the lottery numbers first.
2-0 to Norwich, Liverpool and all, by the way.
Well, we await this one. It's been given. I think we can see it's been given from comments elsewhere. No surprise
Yes.
once they tell the
Horrendous
referee to go and have a
decision.
look at. Yeah, it's given. Penalty to Southampton. 66 minutes gone. Come on, Alphonse. Areola. There you go. How did we miss that one?
Oh, yes.
I don't know. I don't know about that. I'm
see,
not sure.
that-
I think
not-
it's
see-
a penalty probably.
Maybe I'm living in the past, but to me, that was a good challenge. He's
He's
gone
brought
in
Dawson
and he's
along
come
with
out with a ball. That to me is all that matters.
There's no real protestations from Dawson, which I guess tends to indicate that he knew what was coming there.
There
It's
ain't no
taken
point
VAR 2
protesting,
minutes
though,
to
is
debate
there?
it
That's
anyway.
the thing. I don't know. Yeah, Dalton ain't the sort that goes bitching and moaning, is he?
No. Anyway, penalty. Ward-Prowse, and he's put it in the back of the net. I can tell you that much. And
Unbelievable.
2-1 down.
I think that was a shocking decision, personally.
West Ham with it all to do anyway. With just
Well, at least it's likely to end on 90 minutes.
yeah,
That
it'd be
was
a pretty
unstable,
sour
wouldn't
way to go out, wouldn't it? But anyway, penalty given, penalty scored. Southampton 2, West Ham United 1. Hammers up against it. What does David Moyes do now, guys? Are we looking at more changes, or do we just stick with what we got?
We haven't got a lot left, have we, to bring on? Vlasic, he clearly don't trust half the kids.
No.
So Vlasic is virtually the only thing we can actually change. But the way we was playing until the goal, like the penalty got given, we was on the front foot again. I'll stick with what it is at the moment.
Okay. Anyway, James Ward-Prowse putting the penalty straight down the middle. Alphonse Areola diving low to his right. Easily beaten, didn't get near it at all. But I can just tell you, I mean, the reaction on Twitter is, I don't know what it's like on the KUMB.com forum match thread, Nick, but everyone on Twitter, Jimmy Walker, for example, former West Ham keeper, he saved a penalty once in the cup against someone called Frank Lampard at Stamford Bridge. Jimmy says it's pathetic, absolutely pathetic. I could watch that all night and still be undecided. So how is that? Well, I can't even read the rest. He's just launched into abusive foul language aimed at the officials, but an indication of just how strongly Jimmy felt about that.
Was it Brummy for clear and obvious?
That's the one. Yeah. That's something like that. Yeah. Everyone. I mean, Jimmy also said no chance more of a foul the other way in the first instance. But there you go. It's been given. Doesn't matter now. The penalty's been given. It's been scored, and West Ham are up against it with just 20 minutes or so left to go in this game.
If I was David Moyes, and I'm going to get people's wrath here, if I was David Moyes, I'd be like, right, think of Thursday. Think of this time next week, boys and girls. It's the big game. I never ever call for like not going to win a game. But it's up. We're up against it. We ain't going to get 2 goals in 20 minutes. If we get 1 goal in 20 minutes, we've then got another half hour of football to go, and we look knackered already.
Yeah.
So dirty.
Well, not good. And it's a shame, isn't it, Real? Because we were just really beginning to turn the screw a little bit. We got the equaliser in a really good place. Had a good spell. We were really on top, and then just out of nothing, we sort of shot ourselves in the foot again.
It's defensive lapses, isn't it? It's just the minor moments in the game. If you don't concentrate, you don't be on your mettle, 100% all the way through the game, you're going to get punished at this level. But the thing, like we said, we was on the front foot. We was one asking all the questions.
Yeah,
we shoot ourselves in the foot again.
More bad news. Chelsea have scored again at Luton, now 3-2 up. And this is actually better news, I suppose. But Nico Vlasic is warming up and about to come on for West Ham. Not quite sure who's going to go. Who do we think will be the... Rio?
No, we just went forward again. Fornells is in acres of space down the left-hand side. But between Lanzini and Antonio... The ball, yeah, basically. I'm trying to find a poetic way of saying it, but yeah, they ballsed it up.
Overhit the pass, I think. But disappointing, really good opportunity for West Ham, but a little bit of panic perhaps creeping in. Who's going to go off for Vlasic here? We think Lanzini, perhaps, Nick?
Yeah, I think it's Lanzini myself.
Yeah.
He's
Kurt
got a
Zouma.
goal, but Antonio is still playing like he's got concrete boots on.
He's just done too much travelling and too much workload.
Yeah.
Player of his age, playing the way he plays week in, week out, he just can't handle it.
Benrahma's just been mugged. I said last week that in a really perverse sort of way, I want Antonio's hamstring to go twang, just so that we've got no choice and we've got to mix it up a bit. And I don't mean ill on the bloke, but apart from tonight, he might.
I completely get where you're coming from, but I need it to happen a few weeks down the line.
Yeah.
When we're clearer games a little bit. But I would like to see an option given, you know. If his hamstring did go, who's he going to do? What's he going to do? Just stick Bone up front all the time? We've got to change the way we played him because we can't afford Jared Bone to do the same muscle as Mickey does. Or he's got to try one of the kids. So he obviously doesn't rate any of our youngsters. All right? We're playing with 14, 15 players the same week in, week out. How bad are they that you don't trust them that much?
Going back to the penalty incident, there's a lot of suggestion on the live chat, our live chat, and also on Twitter that if you take that VAR review back a few seconds further, there's a clear foul by Brozier on Dawson just before the ball goes into the penalty area, and people questioning why VAR didn't actually look at that. So I didn't see that, chaps. I don't know if either of you called it, but I'm sure we'll see a rerun of it after the full-time whistle.
No, I didn't catch that. I've just seen on the sidelines, Kevin Nolan showing Nico Vlasic our stream on his iPad. And Nico's had a couple of laughs. I think they're pointing out the fact that Chalks just turns up to give me abuse every week. Doesn't happen often when he's on here, but he singles me out.
He's just a bully, mate. He's just a bully.
When Kevin Nolan points out, then Chalks is in trouble.
Maybe Kevin Nolan's coming on. Who knows? I mean, we could probably do worse than stick him in behind the striker. Can't be that unfit. But time beginning to run out for West Ham. 74 minutes down and down 2-1, thanks to that rather controversial penalty decision awarded by VAR, of course. VAR in play tonight because this match being played at a Premier League ground, not in play at Luton or Middlesbrough last night because it's only
4-0 going off. By look at it.
4-0. Okay, that's interesting.
Bloody Nora.
I'm quite surprised at that because
the line up now though.
Unless we're going to a conventional back four, maybe.
Unless he plays Benrahma as a left hand. Yeah. No, Vlasic is lining up exactly where 4-0 was.
Right, that's interesting.
Bloke that's played most of his time through the middle, he's out on the left, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, okay.
All right, that's odd. Well, we'll see. You would assume that that's something they'll be working on in training. But Jeff Hathaway saying that yes, Brozier had a handful of Dawson's shirt confirmation there from one of our own team that it should have been looked at before the penalty incident itself. But there you go. Looks like we've been done again, chaps, by our friends at Stockley Park. Not for the first time. These things even themselves out, we're often told. Not sure that's the case. But anyway, 14 minutes to go for West Ham to try and salvage our FA Cup run here at St Mary's. 2-1 down against a much changed Southampton team. West Ham only changed because Thomas Souček was badly injured by a flailing elbow. It's another one, isn't it? We're talking about VAR and incidents. That's twice really in this second half. It's sort of gone against us. You could argue that was potentially a red card. That challenge by, it was Diallo, wasn't it? I think. Yeah, Diallo cracked in the face.
Yep.
Kurt Zouma's just made another fantastic tackle.
Yeah.
And dare I say, ever since the incident with a certain member of, Noah's army, he's been absolutely imperious since he come back. He's been amazing. Every last 3 or 4 games, he's been probably the player of the game every single game.
Unfortunately, Said Benrahma gave it away straight away after that brilliant bit of work by Zuma. Shot coming in.
Actually, to be honest, I am going to change my background as a tribute to Zuma.
Go on. Very handsome. Is that one of yours?
That's one of mine, yeah. He's in the laundry basket. Wherever cats go.
Yes. Anywhere they can. Oh, there's the other one.
And there's my other one. See, in the last one of him, right, he looked evil. Look at that. Butter wouldn't melt.
I don't know. There's a bit of darkness in those eyes somewhere.
That's right. Gingers get, in all walks of life, they get an unfair reputation.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. There's something about ginger women I don't think have a bad, unfair reputation. They have a reputation.
No, we're not going to go there. We're definitely not going there. We're definitely not going there.
Yeah, we all know that redhead dropped. We all know that. Anyway, back to the football.
There's a game on.
Yeah, we're on the attacking left-hand side. Ben Rama crosses it in, surprising enough to no one. And Issa Diop picks the ball up. I thought he's had a decent game today, you see.
He is. He is. Oh, die.
If you go onto the KUMB.com Twitter account, I've just retweeted a lovely bit of film that the BBC managed to inadvertently pick up from the crowd tonight, where a young lady was, let's say, giving the Nescafe shuffle sign to the opposition fans, and the BBC broadcast it in all its beauty. On the KUMB.com Twitter feed. It's a classic.
Oh, that's the ginger lady that they were talking about on the match thread.
Yeah, do you think that's the one?
It
that's
might
her,
well
yeah?
be.
Yeah, could well be. Could well be.
Is Gareth Hunt in the audience by any chance? Because you might have just spotted him. You don't know, do you? For anyone under the age of 25,
if he was a footballer,
YouTube Gareth Hunt. I did say Gareth Hunt.
Yeah. Is that Nathan Redmond just come on for Southampton? Or
yeah, on? He's looking old now, isn't he?
He is. It's a strange one. I always thought he would have been a good player for us. Was it Birmingham he came from?
Yeah. It was, I always liked him.
Ago. I always thought he was going to go on and have a really, really successful career. But I mean, he has had a successful career. Obviously, he's playing in the best league in the so-called best league in the world. But I thought he would be a player at a bigger club for a while in his younger years. But seems to have sort of settled at Southampton. Been there for years now, hasn't he? Must be a while.
Yeah, I don't think settled so. I think stagnated, hasn't he?
Stagnated, maybe. Yeah. Did we see who he came on for?
I've given up Will Olivia. Yeah. Since the knob gags are gone, I've lost it.
He's only 27.
Is he really?
Is he?
I think he moved very young, didn't he, from
from
Birmingham, but still got plenty left in him. He's in his prime, isn't he, really, then, at 27? Best years of your footballing life, 27, 28.
He's only been at Southampton, 6 years?
Was that? Oh, I thought it was longer
Yeah,
than that.
2016 he started, according to the ever-reliable Wikipedia.
Yeah. Was it Brumnick he came from?
It was Norwich.
Norwich. Oh, okay.
Yes. So he came from Birmingham to Norwich in 2013.
Okay.
And
right.
Norwich to Southampton in 2016.
Right, that makes sense. I knew he left Birmingham at a very young age, but I didn't remember that he went to Norwich for 3 years.
And he has one England cap. Well, I wouldn't have known that at all.
One of a plethora of players that had that sole cap, presumably to stop them. Has he got like Jamaican mother or something like that, which means he could have played for someone else, possibly?
Hang on. Someone's
just back to football. That buddy boy Ben Johnson has just give Brozier an absolute right look and a half here.
Oh, he's going to go off for that, isn't he?
If the AR look at it, I think he is.
Well, Brozier's not happy. Let's just have a look at the incident again.
He's made a meal of it, to be honest.
It's one of those, isn't it? Where it doesn't, if you're taking that incident as an isolated incident, then you've got to say, well, it's a naughty one. But how is that any worse than what Diallo did to Souček? He's cut his face. Yeah. He's left his face streaming with blood. I mean, out of the two, which one's worse?
It's still, you've still got to say the Souček one, ain't you?
Yeah, definitely. There's more intent there.
Absolutely. It's not unlike Johnson as well, isn't it? You don't often see him.
Yeah. And the Southampton player's gone down like a sack of poo and making the most of it.
I think it's more
Johnson always
looks like
one of these people who looks permanently bewildered. As if like something, he's in a drama series or something, like in Grange Hill, one of the extras who thinks, what's happened there? Huh?
Yes. He does. That's how my ginger cat looks in real life when he ain't in front of a phone. He's got a permanently shocked look on his face.
I didn't realise till the other day what who his relatives were. Is it cousin of Ledley King and Paul Parker?
Are you taking the what's it, or is this actually true that you didn't?
No,
know?
it is. Yeah, no,
because they say it on every single West Ham game he played. Who his family are, and I thought you were being sarcastic.
No. When it pops up the other week, I'm sure his cousin's Ledley King and his uncle is Paul Parker.
Yeah.
So he comes from good footballing stock. Apart from the Ledley King bit, obviously.
Yes, footballing family for sure. Quick look at the stats as we approach the final 5 minutes or so. Southampton 49% possession to West Ham's 51. Southampton 10 shots, 2 on target. West Ham 9 shots, 3 on target. No corners yet for Southampton. No single corner. That's unusual. 5 for West Ham. But the team who are exceptional at set pieces only managed to score 1 goal from 5 corners. Our numbers are lacking.
Who's that just been booked? One of theirs.
Yeah,
Perrault's been booked for not having a shave for last week, I think.
Perrault.
Oh, good tackle again.
Who was the booking for, chaps? I didn't see that one.
Roman Perrault.
Oh, it's Perrault, the scorer, yeah. Okay. Thank you very much. But it's not looking good. And I mean, we've just seen another great tackle from Kurt Zuma to hold his man. But are we sort of in the realms of thinking now, well, we'll just take this one on the chin rather than risk an extra half an hour?
It does look like it. We're not asking any of the questions. Oh, good save by Ariola. Nathan Redmond surged through, had a crack from about 25 yards. Ariola's kept abreast of it and pushed it away.
Hey, boom, boom.
It is a great save.
But again, I mean, you've got to say Redmond, acres of space there, and Dawson is a million miles away from him as he turns and shoots. But
at the 2-1 down in the cup tie, we should be the ones forcing all the questions, pushing them to the end. We're not doing anything. We ain't shown nothing in the last 5 minutes. Since the change when Vlasic come in, not blaming Vlasic, but we haven't offered nothing. As I say, that Declan surges through, picks the ball up. And Diallo has been... Yeah, Diallo had a shirt full of Declan.
Why is that not a free kick? Finally. And he's trying to say it was Declan Rice pulling his shirt.
Yeah, bit of frustration there for Declan Rice, but Diallo rightly booked. But to be fair, I mean, again, if you're looking at that now, this is Diallo that thumped Souček in the face earlier on in the half, and he's been booked there. I mean, he shouldn't really be on the pitch, should he? Anyway, but that's a second clear offence in my book, anyway. I mean, I'm obviously incredibly biased in West Ham's favour, but I'm wondering why he's still on the pitch, quite frankly. But anyway, all of that's immaterial. Doesn't matter. It's what the officials out there see. Declan Rice it was who stepped up, chaps, in the final minute at the Agborough Stadium a few weeks ago to save West Ham's bacon, send it into extra time. Can he do it again? Getting close, getting close. Final 3 minutes.
Acres of space on the right. Oh, Ben Rama, come on.
Oh, for goodness sake, pass the ball. I've just seen the Ben Rama bit.
Yeah.
But crap.
Needed to let it go, didn't he?
I said it.
Johnson in absolute acres of space. Needed to play it first time. Well, chaps, it looks like this wait for the FA Cup is going to go on another year at least.
It's looking like it, isn't it?
Caballero's just made an absolute fluff again there. Under pressure from Antonio, he's flat like anything. Try to claim the free kick, but we got another corner. Bowen from exactly the same. Is he going to do it? Put it on under Zuma's nut? He's going to try. Dobson, I want to save. Oh. Bowen another corner, slings it into the mix. Dawson gets an absolute thumping head and Caballero makes an absolutely outstanding save to push it away.
Unbelievable.
Bowen again. Ben Rama gets underneath it. I don't want to go Wimby anyway.
I've just seen a Ben Rama shot. That, ladies and gentlemen, is why Ben Rama is crap. He really is. I feel like I'm digging him out because I probably am. No, I am. I really can't stand the player. He's all tricks, and even his tricks aren't very good. He had a tiny little purple patch at the start of the season, but blimey, he's been absolutely diabolical for the rest of it. He's not good enough for this level. I keep saying it. He's too good for the Championship, not good enough for the Premier League. He's an in-betweener. He needs to go and play abroad.
He doesn't look up enough for me.
No.
No, he hasn't got the vision. He hasn't got. How can I put it?
He's big.
The vision's not there. The aptitude isn't there. Because we're not playing 100% to his style, he's not going to shine. At Brentford, everything went through him. Here, he's a bit part player, and he's regressing in a way.
7 minutes added on, chaps. Extra 7 minutes, so plenty of time. At least one more big chance, hopefully, for West Ham. But I kind of fear that Dawson effort was it. I've got to say that was it was a good save. I mean, to be fair, it was a good save by Caballero, but it was a really comfortable height, wasn't it, for the keeper, and probably looked better than it did. But just frustrating when he's an absolute shocker of a night. Been dropping everything left, right, and centre, but yeah, pulls off the big save when it matters. Chelsea still 3-2 up, I believe, at Luton. I think that one might have finished by now. I think that's finished. They've won that, and Liverpool 2-0 up, I think, against Norwich still. So as it stands, West Ham on their way out of the FA Cup. Only competition we're out of so far this year is the Carabao Cup, obviously beaten at Tottenham. Looks like we're about to be kind of stuck against another Premier League team in this one, unless we can do something in the next 5 minutes or so. Just over 5 minutes left of added on time for the Hammers to try and send this game into extra time. We did it late last time. We did it very, very late at Kidderminster, but you kind of fear for us here, I think, especially if it does go into extra time because we've got no other players to bring on. But anyway.
It's something we don't need, but we don't want to go out, do we?
Not really.
But I just don't
really.
think until we're blurry there, we haven't offered enough since we won a goal down. It's been really stale. and really kind of what's come to the fore is what we mentioned earlier. Down that right-hand side, we've offered very little. And we can't keep going down left-hand side all the time. Team to work us out and cut us off there. Without Cresswell's delivery tonight, we've lacked a little.
Yeah, very much so. We've it's a funny one, isn't it, Cresswell? I mean, I'm a huge fan of his, I've got to be honest, but I think he's one of those players that you generally notice just how important he is to the team. Mostly when he's not playing, when he's not in it, you really notice the difference. Pablo nowhere near as effective tonight as he was against Wolves on Saturday without, the support from Cresswell. But time running out. We're in the last 4 minutes now. It's still Southampton 2, West Ham 1. And Rio, you're absolutely right. The point you make at this point in a tie like this, you'd expect West Ham to be battering Southampton, but it's not quite that turning out to be like that at the moment.
I'd expect one of the centre backs to be up there in the mix every time we go up.
Yeah,
it just hasn't happened. Maybe Moyes has kind of settled for if it ain't happening naturally, we're not going to force the issue. But it just seems unnatural. This is West Ham in a cup competition. We go for it normally. We absolutely go for it, and we just haven't done it since we went 2-1 down. We just haven't had that spark.
We haven't had the spark throughout this competition, though. Not the FA Cup, to be fair. Kidderminster, we were absolutely dreadful.
Yeah,
we ain't been great here. Who was the first one we had?
It's 3-1.
Leeds. And that could be game over. It's definitely game over. Rio?
Game over.
Yeah, Southampton kind of eked their way down the pitch. Got down our right-hand side. Brosier's kind of crept in. Tiny little finish, but it's just disappointing,
It's been a shocking. Apart from the first half hour and 10 minutes in the second half, we have been second best, absolutely second best. Now, you can put it on maybe, to coin a phrase, as we haven't used many bad words throughout this, so we'll get away with it. Shithousery of Southampton. Take away from that, they have been the better team. They've looked like they wanted it more. We just look like we ain't wanted it. Only bonus is that we ain't going to have to do the extra time. But what is actually quite concerning is that we've nigh on got our full strength team out here, and we have just been bottom buggered by Southampton 3-1. Liverpool next week. Liverpool Sunday. I'm a bit worried about that. I can see us getting done by 4 if this is anything to go by.
I'm just going to check the Liverpool starting lineup actually, because I don't know if they played their full strength side. Well, that for a fact I wouldn't have done.
I've got to say, I'm just coming back to that third goal. I mean, the defending is absolutely horrendous from West Ham. It's Ben Johnson initially who lets Brosier get through, and then Dawson fails to put in a challenge. Kurt Zuma, who unusually for him gets turned inside out, and it's a fairly easy finish. But you've got to say, Brosier has been the difference between the two teams here. Obviously, won the penalty.
Second string for Liverpool, by the way.
Pardon?
Yeah.
Liverpool is basically their reserves. Alisson, Milner, Canate, Gomez. No idea how I'm pronouncing that. Oxlade, Chamberlain, Henderson, Jones, Minamino, Origi, and Jota. All the big guns have been rested.
West Ham obviously going to be facing an even tougher task this weekend at Anfield, but that's the end of our FA Cup run. We're just playing out the final few seconds now, and Southampton once again have done a number on West Ham, beat us at the London Olympic Stadium in the league. It was a draw here at St Mary's earlier in the season, the first goalless draw of the campaign, and beaten again tonight. So that's if it was a league game, that'd be 7 points out of 9 for Southampton. But seem to definitely have the hex on us, Rio, this season, that's for sure.
Yeah, no. Well, until this season, our record against Hassan or Southampton have been very much on the positive side, and it's just all gone inwards, isn't it? But I don't think it's just the fact that we've run out of. I keep repeating it, but it's tired minds, tired bodies, and with that becomes tired attitudes. As we kept saying, in a cup tie of this magnitude, We should have been bombing on. As soon as we went 2-1 down, we should have been up and at them, in their faces, bombing on. We offered absolutely nothing. The tactical switch, taking off Fornals and putting Vlasic on. I like Vlasic. I want him to succeed, but he's not going to operate a left wing back. Ben Ryan had to come on for Soucek, and he's been at best enigmatic, and that's the best I can say about him. His delivery and his final decision making is just not of this level. Now, I really want the guy to succeed, but because we're not playing through him like Brentford used to do, because we're not totaling our entire attack around him, it just doesn't suit him. I think Nick's completely right. He's above the Championship level, but he's not Premiership level. He's basically Norwich City as a player. It's disappointing, very disappointing. You can point to a couple of incidences. Diallo should have seen the card earlier, possibly a red. The Dawson one, I still think is a penalty, but the consensus on the internet is that it was touch and go. I've also got the thing that if you're not playing every single game in this competition under the same rules, you shouldn't implement VAR. You know, I'm completely against that whole kind of concept. You can't implement VAR at the early rounds. Why have it later rounds?
I completely agree. The rules have got I think every game should be played to exactly the same rules.
Exactly. Yep.
And none of this. So if it's a Premiership ground, we'll use rubbish. I think that's atrocious. All or nothing.
Absolutely.
All or nothing. Because the ref called that. I still think the ref called that correctly. I don't think watching it in slow motion. I know it's like he made contact and stuff. He bought the penalty and he came out with that ball. To me, that was a good challenge. Initially, when I saw it in full speed, I thought, what a challenge. Because that's what the first thing I said, what a challenge by Dawson. And then we've micro-analysed it. We've picked the bones out of it with VAR and slow motions and what else. And then it's a penalty. No, if he'd owned a penalty in real time, he'd own a penalty. To me, he came out with that ball and... that I don't know. It's probably where I'm getting old. To me, that was a good old school, good old fashioned defenders challenge. Good old challenge. Come out with a ball. That's all that matters. But nope.
All right. Well, look, we're gonna come onto those incidents in just a few minutes. When we review the second half of the game as a whole, but. The final whistle has blown at St Mary's. It has finished Southampton 3, West Ham United 1. West Ham are out of the FA Cup. We haven't really performed in the cup at all this season. We beat Leeds, not convincing performance. Managed to sneak through against Kidderminster. Beaten comfortably, really, tonight against what was essentially a second-string Southampton team at St Mary's. The home fans jubilant at. Watching their team progress through to the last 8 for West Ham. We face a trip to Liverpool at the weekend and then that massive Europa League tie in Seville next week. But let's just come back to tonight's game initially. Nick, come to you first. I have to come to you because Rio's just popped off for a minute. Just give me your first initial thoughts and summary on what you've seen tonight.
I thought we were apart from the first half hour and 5 minutes or so in the second half, I thought we were a load of old rubbish. We've got no cutting edge up front. We've got a lack of options on the bench. We look tired. The January transfer window's biting us in the backside, and I'm not confident for the next 2 games at all. I think that our season's going to fizzle out, and it's not me being overly negative because we're on the back of a loss. We've been rubbish for 2 weeks. 2 weeks, for 2 months at least. Sunday was a bit of I suppose in a way, a blip of our bad form. But let's be honest here. Wolves were pretty awful on Sunday. We weren't great. Again, with the final third on Sunday, we weren't putting it away, and we're not scoring goals. It's simple as that. Now our defence has started 3 goals against the second string Southampton. The first one I'll give you. All right, the penalty, I still don't think it was, but by the rules of the game. But that last one and all, that was everyone in defence had him out from Johnson all the way through. He's just ballet danced all the way through us. It's disappointing because it's 42 years now. It's going to be 43 by the time the next FA Cup comes around if we win it, and so on and so on and so on. And I feel for our younger fans because I was only a kid in junior school. There is a picture that I occasionally post on Twitter and Facebook of me wearing a rosette that's as big as me. And I don't like using the phrase "we deserve a trophy" because we don't. We only deserve it if we win it. But I think our fans deserve it, so to speak. I know it's a bit of an oxymoron. I think you know what I mean, because we have been through a lot of crap, and cups matter. But then we've thrown it away. I think the frustrating thing for me is that we started the season off so well, and everybody that I know could see that come this business end of the season, what was going to happen. And then these no signings in January, it's like we don't give a monkeys. And Moyes is still coming out on record saying he had money to buy.
Yep.
But the right players weren't there. Well, sorry, mate. You've got to take some of the responsibility. You've had an absolute nightmare. And no thanks to you and the board. And this ain't a pop at Moyes. I'm just quoting him on his own words. So, yeah, you buggered up what could have been a completely totally promising season, and now it's fizzling out with a fart and a 4-10 gale. It's not really acceptable, to be fair. But you can't say sack him, which I won't say. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he should go anywhere. Hopefully he learns from it, because we're West Ham. We don't get opportunities to push on often. We've had about 4 or 5 in my lifetime. And yet another one blown.
Okay. All right. Thanks, Nick, for your summary. Rio, come to you for your first initial post-match thoughts. We'll go through the specifics of the second half in just a minute, but what's your initial reaction to what you've seen tonight?
It's just thoroughly disappointing. The first half, very much a continuation of Sunday. Thought we was a better side in that opening period, but we just lacked that clinical edge. And at this level, you don't take your chances. And we have 3 or 4 good opportunities there. If you don't take them, this can happen. Teams of Southampton are a decent team. They're in really good form at the moment.
Yeah.
You have to be clinical. If you're not, this is what happens. It's just the second half was, we got back into the game. We was often asking all the questions. We was testing them far more than they tested us. We shot ourselves in the foot again. But it was just a reaction after that second goal, which I didn't like. It wasn't befitting of a West Ham side. It wasn't befitting of a side who really wanted that game today. Right?
What do you mean specifically when you say that, Rio? When you're talking about the reaction, what was it you didn't like particularly?
I touched on it during the game itself, but when you go 2-1 down in the cup tie, you expect your players, be they tired or not, to really, really come at it, ask questions of the home side, really go for the tie. We didn't do that. We seem to go into our shell rather than opening up. And I wouldn't mind if we lost 3-1 going for it. We lost 3-1 here by being pussyfooted, and we didn't offer nothing, I don't think, after that. After they went 2-1 up, I can't remember a really clear-cut chance, The Dogs one. Other than that, what did we create from open play? Absolutely nothing. And we looked deficient down the right-hand side. As soon as Lashic's come on, before nails went off, we offer nothing down the left. In the middle, Lanzini didn't have the greatest game. Declan was... Declan certainly really missed Thomas Soucek when he went off.
Yeah.
He kind of went in his shell a little bit. We just looked like a tired side. I keep going on about it. Tired minds, tired bodies. But that really comes to the fore when we went 2-1 down.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll tell you what we'll do. Sorry, Nick, go on.
No, we just looked lost. But trying to give a bit of balance. As Rio said, Declan looked looked right, looked lost when Souček went on. Now, was that their game plan? Nobble one of our central midfielders? Look at it, when you think about it, the shithousery that they were doing, the niggly fouls, the time wasting. I don't know. I am disappointed. I'm trying to be objective about it, but I still keep coming back. We just weren't good enough. That's the be all and end all of it. We just weren't good enough, and our squad is looking as weak as my wife's tea.
Saved that one, pulled that one out of the bag. Well done. Let's have a look at the big incidents of that second half. Of course, it was 1-0 at the break. The only goal of the first half at Perot, that shot out of nowhere from 27 yards in the 31st minute after West Ham had really been taking the game to Southampton, looking the better team. But as you guys have alluded to, they're failing to make the most of our opportunities. Just 5 minutes gone in the second half when we saw Thomas Souček, blood streaming from his face, and replay showed that it was an elbow from Diallo, and bit of controversy over this one. It was VAR didn't go our way in the second half, and you could arguably say this was the first time it went against us. Now, Rio, let me start with you on this one. Diallo, the elbow. We spoke about it at the time, but are you still convinced that what's your view now? You think that was a red card incident?
I definitely think it was worthy of a red card. It wasn't a natural swinging back game incident. There looked to be some kind of intent there, and I'm really surprised that VAR they didn't. All they did was give it a cursory look. It was done and dusted within 5 or 10 seconds. Yep. We didn't even notice it. Now the replays weren't shown on the TV. I think there's a very brief one. They didn't replay it over and over again like they normally do these kind of things. Look at the Manchester City incident against Everton for the penalty the other day. How many times did they show that again? This, which looked like a piece of violent conduct on the pitch, wasn't even given a second mention, really. Okay. I thought there was intent. The arm swinging back wasn't in a natural position. There seemed to be a bit of malice there, a bit of force. And yeah, I think, as Nick pointed out, there was a bit of the dark arts involved there, but they've got away with that. All
right. Okay. Thank you, Nick. Do you concur with Rio on that? Do you think that was a red card offence?
Yeah, same as I think Ben Johnson's was a red card offence and all. So I'm not just going to say that be anti-Southampton here, but Johnson should have gone off for his swing round in the face of their player as well. I don't think that was accidental. And he was lucky to stay on the pitch, which is not what we wouldn't have needed. And I think this is where he maybe needs to grow up a bit. He could very easily have seen red for that. And I think that if it was 10 against 11 with the original one on Souček, if he'd been sent off, then Johnson would have gone and all. And I think that might have been the ref possibly evening it up, because I think that does go on. And that was petulant by Johnson and stupid, because we have Fredericks and him as our current fit right backs at the moment, and he would have got a 3-match ban for that because it would have been violent conduct. So, yeah, I think Moyes needs to have a word with him on that. But going back to the Souček one, without a shadow of a doubt, that was with force in the face. Believe it or not, the human body is actually quite resilient. And if you just get caught with an elbow playing football, your eye don't generally split open. It takes some force to split the skin. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. There was no accident there. That was meant, and he should have gone off.
Okay. For what it's worth, I totally agree with you. I thought it at the time when I saw it. I thought it was violent conduct, and I still think that's the case. I'm surprised that he was on the pitch. But anyway, he stayed on the pitch.
Dare I say, if Thomas Souček wasn't the player that Thomas Souček is, who rocks with the punches, takes his fair share of physical grief, but just gets on with it. If it had been a certain other kind of character of player and made a meal out of that, would we have got more out of that?
Probably.
Good point. That's a really good point, actually, Rio. I think we saw that, didn't we, with the incident later on with Brozier. But anyway, we'll come to that in just a minute. The next main real incident of the second half came just ahead of the hour mark, and it was a goal for West Ham. We threatened just before. Caballero looked dodgy on corners. And on this occasion, it was a bowing corner to the near post. Diop went up with the goalkeeper who flapped at it, and the ball fell somewhat fortuitously for Michail Antonio, who hasn't really been getting the breaks in recent weeks. But there it was, the ball dropped at his feet, 2 yards from goal. Easiest goal he'll ever get, poked it over the line. West Ham back in the game at that point, Rio. Deserved goal, really, from West Ham's perspective at that point.
Yeah, absolutely. The warning signs for Southampton were there. Bowen put exactly the same ball in about, was it 2 or 3 minutes earlier? Zuma got underneath it and fluffed it. This was exactly the same delivery. And as you say, it's probably an indication that the West Ham backroom staff have been doing their homework, pinpointing Caballero's weakness on incoming in-swinging corner. But yeah, Zuma got the head to it initially, got it downwards this time. Caballero made a meal out of it. It come back to Diop, who kind of hooked it back a little bit. He did really well there in a split second. Antonio stuck it home, right? That's his first goal in 10 games. Desperately needed for him. But it didn't give him the boost of confidence that you would have expected. But no, we played really well up until that point in retaliation, and it was well deserved. And we thought we was a team in the ascendancy. For me, there's only one team that's actually going to go on and win that. Yeah.
Okay. And West Ham were looking better, and then 5 minutes later there was an incident inside the area. Now this one we haven't seen the whole thing again, which is a shame, because from what we can gather, there was a coming together on the edge of the box where Brozier appeared to foul Dawson. The game was allowed to continue. The ball went into the box, and Dawson didn't actually touch the ball, but Brozier went over his foot. The game carried on, and then VAR decided to review the incident, Nick. And after about 2.5 minutes of deliberation, we had that horrible scenario where the referee was asked to go and have a look at the monitor. And as Mark Richardson points out on the live chat, when that happens, I certainly can't recall a referee disagreeing with the decision to, that he's been asked to go and check. And no, the penalty was given. I mean, do you still maintain it wasn't a penalty? You were quite.
I don't think it was a penalty. I think it was 6 and 2 frees, and Brock was. After I can't pronounce his bloody name, but he's gone to buy it. Dawson's gone for, and I'd say he's come out with the ball. That's the thing that, to me, I wouldn't think it's a penalty. He's come out with a ball. It was a fair challenge in real time. I can see why the ref left it. It was a superb challenge, and yet under these new rules, under this VAR, everything's micro-analysed. He touched him, so yeah, what a load of old rubbish. The game to me is now so non-contact that it's getting boring. It ruins games. When once upon a time, 10 years ago, would have been a sublime tackle, like I thought Dawson's was. That's a penalty. And I just don't get it. The enjoyment is being sucked totally out of the game. And I don't just mean the FA Cup, Premier League, everything. There's don't really seem to be any fun in it. We get a little bit of jumpy up and down if we beat one of the big boys. Oh, pardon me, beat Spurs or whatever. But it's still painful. Even when we played Liverpool and beat them, it was still painful because of the cheating Salah getting the free kick and Alexander Arnold. Do
you think that Brozier took a dive? Is that what you're saying?
He bought it. I wouldn't say he took a dive. He bought it, and then made a meal of it.
Okay. I mean, I think what's frustrating from that point of view is that you and I sat here on Sunday, and there was an incident, wasn't there, in the second half where Michail Antonio went through on the left-hand side of the penalty box, was clearly impeded by the defender. And, we both said at the time that if that's Mo Salah, he's going straight to ground there as soon as he's felt contact, and he's going to win a penalty. But Antonio stayed on his feet, and in the end it came to nothing. But
yeah, but
that's I mean, I guess that highlights the difference between the two. That Brozier's felt the challenge has gone to ground, and the decision's been taken. But let me come to you quickly on this one. What is the point? I mean, Mark has asked the question. What is the point of asking the referee to go and review these incidents at the monitor if you know what the outcome's going to be anyway? I mean, as I said, I think every time I've ever seen that happen, the referee's changed his mind. What's the point? We've wasted 2 or 3 minutes there, and you know what's going to happen, don't you?
It's all theatrics from the Premier League and the FA. As soon as a referee gets asked to look at the screen, it's not to overturn the decision. It's just to cement what the people at Stockley Park had decided.
Right.
And that's the be-all and end-all. For what it's worth, and this is right, me and Dale will probably disagree for the first time ever tonight. I'm going to disagree again with him. I didn't think in real time Dawson got enough of the ball there. I don't think he got the ball at all. He come out of it, but to get the ball at the end involved taking Brozier down. Yes, Brozier's made a mill out of it, but for me it was a penalty. But the whole theatrics of going through a check, getting a referee to look at it, you just got to go back to the Balbuena incident at home to Chelsea the other year. You know, you can look at that as much as you like. That is not a foul. But once the Stockley Park decides that there's a problem, it just puts it in the referee's mind, and he's got to back up his fellow refereeing panel back at the video assessment room. Yeah, you just know what's going to happen. It's more predictable than an episode of EastEnders, isn't it? You know, you just know what's going to happen.
Well, that's it. That's why I say, do we, what is the point? You might as well just accede to the VAR team and say, well, they've decided that, you need to look at it against, you might as well just give it. You're right. It does seem a bit pointless, to go through that whole rigmarole. But anyway, it was given. Ward-Prowse, for what it's worth, I'm with you on that, Rhea. I felt on balance. I think the way I try and look at these things is that I try and put us in the opposite team situation. And I think, how would we feel if that was Michail Antonio and he's gone down there and the penalty wasn't given? And I think we would have felt very hard done by, and if it was an unjust decision. So on that basis, I think I tend to agree with you that, yes, I think, on balance of play, Nick's right. Dawson comes out with the ball, but I think that's only because he's clipped him before. But of course, the whole point of this, I mean, we need to go, why does VAR look at that decision only? Why has VAR not gone back to the incident prior to that outside the box where Brozier, and again, we're only going by what people on the stream have said because we haven't seen the incident again, but apparently there was a clear foul by Brozier. So why is VAR not looking at, at what point, this is where it all becomes murky. At what point does VAR say, right, this is where we start to review that entire move and look at the whole thing? But
all they seemed to check was he offside. They didn't go back that step further where something could have happened in the build-up, as people have been rightly pointing out.
Yeah, absolutely. So you could say that VAR hasn't helped us. So we're harshly done by, but certainly didn't help us twice there in the space of 15 minutes, 17 minutes. That second half. Anyway,
I potentially have a little bit of inside information to add to this as well.
Okay.
Preston off the KUMB forum, I'm pretty good friends with.
Yeah.
He lives quite near an ex-Premier League referee. And he often bumps into him walking the Dawson there, and he always collars him for a comment. But he said that in the coming season, that referees will be mic'd up. So I'm thinking, if this actually comes to fruition as we think it could do, they'll be asked to explain their decisions or get a little bit more insight into this. So that's a step forward. I mean, I think VAR is a farce anyway. Football's a game of human error. Yeah. And whether that be a referee or a player, it's a game of human error. But if we're going to get refs mic'd up and have to explain their decisions and explain their thought process, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but that's what they're talking about at the moment.
Okay. I mean, that would be, I think that's a step in the right direction. If it was to happen, that's something I've been calling for a while. We see it in rugby and it tends to work very well, if only to placate the fans who are wondering why a decision's been given the way it has. I'm not sure it will actually change the mindset of the fan base inside the ground, because they'll still disagree with the decision, right? But at least everyone will be in the clear, and it won't, we won't know, or won't be left in the dark, as it were, as to why it's been given. So hope you're right. We'll keep an eye on that one and see. But a nice little bit of inside info from Rio there. Nice little scoop. 2-1. Anyway, James Ward-Prowse put the resulting penalty straight down the middle. Nick and Rio pointed this out. At this point, you're 2-1 down in a cup tie. You've got nothing to lose. You're expecting the team who's behind to go hell for leather. We didn't see that from West Ham, did we? And if anything, we felt to pieces. We had one really decent chance after that, and that was the header from Dawson. But we had to wait until the the 89th minute for that. So that was 22 minutes after Southampton had taken the lead. Why do you think West Ham was so ineffective during that second half of the second half?
Because we're just not good enough. I think that's stark reality. I think we need to start facing up to it. Because it's not just the lack of bodies that we got in, that we didn't get in January. You've got to remember our summer window, obviously in hindsight, was absolutely atrocious as well. And we're using the same players in effect that we've used for the past since the start of last season, and that includes Ben Rama. And we're flogging them to death, and we've got no one that can replace him. And it is starting to become a shambles from top to bottom. I get we're sitting fifth in the league. I get we're still in Europe. But come on, I think even a blind man can see that this is all now. The predictable is happening. I think everyone predicted after January is about to happen, that our season's going to totally unravel. We're out of the cup. The only thing I suppose we can be thankful for is that Spurs are being as Spursy do, and that they may not catch us, but I say may. You've got Arsenal going to, they're going to get the fourth place in my book. I think Arsenal are going to be fourth. Man U are going to finish fifth. Are we going to finish sixth? Possibly. Is my only thing. I'm still calling that we're going to finish eighth at the end of the season. And they have, you get people on the forums and on social media saying, "Oh, but eighth is a good season for us." But you need to put it into context of how we finished last season, how we started this season. Eighth to me is going to be a bloody disappointment. And it's not me being ungrateful. But we West Ham, we still want to be better. That's beside bollocks. That's besides the point. We could have had a really good go this season with a decent summer window and a decent January window. Turns out we had neither. And we're trying to finish in the European places with the team that looked knackered at the end of last season. We're playing on adrenaline at the start of this season because of the Europa and where we finished. And we've been worked out. And we're fifth. I get that. I do get that. But look at the table, for goodness sake. Look how many games still in hand the teams below us have got. And they're all very winnable for the other teams now. The Arsenal and Wolves game, when they had to play each other, is gone. And I'm just gutted that, again, it's just like a dream. It's faded and died.
Okay. All right. Well, we're still a lot of football to go, so we'll have to see how that pans out. Interesting. Just looking at the table, you mentioned West Ham finishing eighth. Arsenal finished eighth last season, and they ended up on 61 points, which means that if that was going to be a similar benchmark for this year, that we would only take another 16 points in our remaining 12 games to go. So that's 11 games. We've got 11 games left to go. Would need to lose at least 5 of those, which I suppose is quite possible given our our current form and some of the teams we've got left in front of us. But anyway, we'll see. Of course, Tottenham finished 7th last year with 62 points. West Ham finishing with 65. So to match that, we need to win. We need to win 6 and draw 2 out of our last 11. I'm not sure we're really in that kind of form, are we, at the moment? But we'll see what happens anyway. Of course, we've got Liverpool coming at the weekend. Just going back to this game briefly. Oh, Rio, we were so close to equalising, weren't we? I mean, it's all about moments, isn't it, football? And we had one in the 89th minute. We've been waiting very patiently. And there it was again. Corner come over. We've been causing them problems from corners all night long, quite frankly. Craig Dawson, probably the man out of anyone. Maybe Thomas Soucek, the other one, but he wasn't on the pitch by that point. Dawson goes up, gets his nut on it. Caballero's had an absolute mare all night, pulls off the save of the night, and 4 minutes later, Brozier goes up the other end, dances around 3 or 4 of our players, and ends the game of a contest.
Was that the only save Caballero had to make?
I think it was. I think it was.
We
his
call
only
him
save
making another one in anger. Yeah.
Just looking at the stats quickly, we had 4 shots on target. We scored one of them. There was that save. Did Antonio have one from? I mean, we had 4 shots from inside the 6-yard box. So I'm trying to work out how at least one of those was off target. But yeah, or maybe
I can't recall
the
him to really make a save in anger until that moment.
No,
and like you say, he'd had an absolute stinker. Every time he put an in-swinging corner in, he was in trouble. This was another one. He went slightly deeper, and as you say, Craig Dawson, when he's got his nut on the end of, or his upper arm on the end of everything the last few weeks, he's connected and it's gone in. I don't think he could have done much more with that chance. You know, he's got his head on it. It's on target. It's going at some velocity. It's just a fantastic save, isn't it?
Yeah, it's good height for the goalie as well, wasn't it? To be fair, I mean,
yeah,
you know, it's sort of waist high, nice one to get to. But Nick, let's just we'll go through it very quickly because we don't need to dwell on it. But that the final goal of the game, you know, West Ham sort of just like we'd given up at that point. And we Ben Johnson initially let Broja get away. Dawson didn't put in a challenge. Kurt Zuma, who's been impeccable since he came back from that little spell on the sidelines, turned inside out and it was game over. Yeah,
we didn't want it. We fell asleep. We didn't want it. One eye on Liverpool, the other eye is on Seville. And I get that. I do get that. But the frightening thing is Bubbles has come out of a cracking line on the forum. Quite how we've managed ourselves into a situation where hardly anyone outside the first 11 is trusted to peel an orange, let alone kick a ball, is really quite astounding. And it's spot on. And again, when you've got players, with everyone that started tonight is basically, with apart from maybe one or two, is going to start against Seville next Thursday. Now, you're coming to the end of the game, you're losing, there's someone running into your box. Are you going to make that challenge thinking you're going to get injured for Seville? They want to play in Seville. They want to be heroes. Don't think they've got the ability to be heroes. But then again, I've been wrong before. And that's the thing, when you're relying on the same 12, 13, 14, 15 players all along, they're going to have the Liverpool game in the back of their head in the 90-odd minute of a game when someone's running in the box. And they're not going to dive in. They're not going to stop that challenge, you know. And to be honest, would we, if we're in a game and we've got a massive cup game, like a European Cup game coming up next week, you ain't going to risk injury, are you? You're not going to throw yourself in front of those balls and those challenges.
Yeah.
You know, so I can't knock them too much for that. It's a once in a lifetime opportunity for some of them. For others, it's a step down. Maybe that's kind of the danger when you do sign these former Champions League players like Zuma. You know, maybe they don't have the same thought of the Europa League that we have. I don't know. It was that was just like a Red Sea party. That second goal, the third goal. Sorry.
Yeah, it was a bit like that. I mean, Broja. We didn't even know he was on the pitch, did we? That was the funny thing. It was only when he was involved in that first incident we realised he was there. The only other incident, I mean, he was involved in another incident, which again I think there might be a little bit of disagreement in the camp. But the Johnson incident with Broja on 82 minutes. Nick, you said you felt it was a red card and that Johnson should walk for that.
Yeah, I did. I think it was deliberate. There was nothing that didn't look accidental. It was a right hook from around the back. He smacked him in the mouth. I'm not sure how that can be seen in any other way as accidental, but because he's got this big, lovely smile and it's out of character for him. Anyway, it was quite nice to see.
Bit of nastiness coming out. I mean, I saw it another way. I've got to say, I mean, I have only seen it on like you. We've only seen it on a small screen. You know, we should throw that caveat in. But it looked to me like he poked him in the eye. I thought it was more like fingers rather than a fist. But I could be wrong. But Rio, you decide who's right on this one. What did you think? Were you with Nick or with me on that one?
I thought in real time it was a red card.
Okay.
He looked like he'd actually reached around and.
You felt it was a punch as well. He'd done it on purpose. I thought it was a little bit of a
punch. I need to see it again. We didn't really see a proper replay, but first watch, looked like a punch. And as I said during commentary as well, because Johnson, as Nick rightly pointed out, he's got this kind of face that he looks like a bewildered teenager in the background of Grange Hill episodes, as if like, what? I don't know what's happening. Like that, he's got away with it. Also, a little bit of levelling up after the incident in the first half.
Yeah,
but I thought he was bang to rights.
Okay, so if looking at that, then we're saying that VAR got both of those incidents wrong. We felt that Diallo should have gone, and conversely that Johnson should have walked too. So that's I guess that proves the old adage, doesn't it, that these things do even themselves out. But anyway, it certainly didn't work for us for the goal. But that's how it finished. Southampton 3, West Ham United 1 tonight. West Ham really disappointed. David Moyes has been talking while we've been chatting. Talking about the game and interesting comments. In terms of the goal, he says, I'm pleased for Antonio, but we've got some other players who need to start finding some quality in the final third and start making the right decisions. Who do you, Ben Rama, think he's Ben Rama talking about, Ben Rama, Nick?
Wouldn't have a Ben Rama clue, mate.
No, me neither. No idea. Rio?
Might be in Ben Rama.
Maybe.
I'm just looking here at our bench, right? And I'm taking in consideration a comment that David Moyes made not so long ago that the youngsters won't be involved as much as everyone else thinks during the running.
Yeah.
Now, bearing in mind that we were in the midst of a European campaign, a league campaign, and at the time an FA Cup campaign, where we was pushing for glory on 3 fronts. Tonight, he's named a bench of 9 players.
Yeah.
5 of those were kids. 1 is Darren Randolph. 1's Alex Crowe, who he clearly doesn't rate, is never going to get a game. So he's basically limited himself to 2 potential substitutions, which he used. Now, if those kids aren't ready and he isn't going to utilise them, then what are they doing now? Is it just to make up the numbers and like we've got the squad? It just beggars belief.
Yeah, of course, we were missing a couple of first-team pros. Aaron Cresswell was out, and apparently Moyes has confirmed during his post-match presser that Cresswell was injured. He doesn't say exactly what he was, what the issue is, but he's hopeful he'll be in contention for Anfield this Saturday. And the other one, where was Mark Noble tonight? I thought he would be in the squad. Anyone aware of any issues with Mark? I hadn't seen anything.
He got a serious burn in the pancake pan incident yesterday.
Yes, that must be it. Yeah. Don't know, strange one, but I mean, I guess that that's why there were at least 2 youngsters on there that otherwise, we keep coming back to Alex Kroll. I mean, the poor guy, Nick, must be wondering, what he's doing at this club this year. He's played a few minutes here and a few minutes there, and as we said, if David Moyes isn't going to give him a run out in a game like that, especially when natural replacement, right, for Thomas Souček goes off 5 minutes into the second half. Kroll must be thinking, this is my moment. Here I go. I'm going to get a chance. And he brings on Ben Rama.
Yeah, that was pretty inexplicable, wasn't it? Really. Puzzling. I guess that's just David Moyes, though. I don't think you're ever going to work him out. But poor old Kroll, I mean, what's he got to do? He must be really, really crap in training. That's the only thing I can think of, unless it's a money thing.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a money thing. Who knows? I don't know.
Sorry, I was just going to say the other point, of course, that I want to make about that is that David Moyes, I'm not, first, let's get it right. I'm not here to criticise David Moyes. I think he's doing a wonderful job. But David Moyes did make it quite clear and has made it very clear since the end of January that he didn't want to bring in any players just to make up the numbers, because he only wants players who are better than what he's got. So why bring in Alex Kroll? If that's the case.
I haven't got a clue. Say the same about Vlasic, who's hardly got a look in. That's the thing, as well alluded to earlier. It ain't now just the fruits of our lack of signings in the summer. It's our poor in January. It's our poor signings in the summer. We've had one that's come in and worked. Zuma. That is it.
Yep.
Out of a few. Even Ariola's praises I was singing. You know, he seems to have gone off the boil. I don't think he could have done anything with their first goal, regardless of what was said on the forum. But again, he's not really. He ain't got to look in. I think he was brought in with the expectation that maybe Fabianski had spent a bit of time out injured or whatever. But it's the same as any player in any position. If you're not getting the minutes and you're not playing week in, week out, you're going to be rusty. Your reactions ain't going to be there. So it's all too easy to judge Ariola and say, oh, he's not good enough. Until he gets a run in the side, then it's too difficult to judge. And it's actually, you know, it's the same with any player at all. Until they get a run in the side, you can't judge them, which is why after a year and a half, I think we should out Ben Rama at the earliest opportunity.
Yeah.
It just is not good enough, even for this side that's struggling. And I know there's going to be people on the forum that are still, you know, no matter what he does, are going to say, oh, but he's excellent, he's entertaining. So he ain't. I don't think he's entertaining to watch. I find him incredibly frustrating. If I had hair, I'd be pulling it out. He just makes the wrong decisions. His football brain he's not there. It's odd. I know that at the start he's living off again the good numbers he had at the start of the season.
Yeah.
Because nobody else has matched them yet, which doesn't mean that he's good. It means everyone else is also just as crap.
Yeah.
You know, so it's nothing to write home about. I won't be singing those praises. They're awful.
Okay. Well, I tell you what. Look, if there's anyone tuning in the live chat and you're a fan of Ben Rama, tell us why we're wrong. Tell us what it is that we're missing, because it'd be interesting. You know, we want to hear all points of view on here. So if you are a fan of the Algerian, let us know why. Let us know why you think he should be given a bit more time. And well, I'm guessing it looks like we might have an Algerian supporter on the stream. No, we're not drunk, Mandeezy. But if you want to make a coherent defence of the player, please feel free to do so. Rather than
go on, crack on, mate, and tell us exactly what this bloke's good at. If you are Algerian, tell me why if he's so good he couldn't even get a game for Algeria in the African Cup of Nations. Even your own boss don't rate him.
Yeah, it's a fair point. Okay, well, look, we're time is pushing on. It's 10 past 10, so we're going to look ahead. We're going to close up pretty soon. I'm going to finish as we always do by looking ahead to our next game, which is a nice easy one. Liverpool away at Anfield this weekend. West Ham haven't won at Liverpool for what is it, 6 years now? Was it 2016? Wasn't it when we went up there and smashed them 3-0? Which in turn was the first win since 1962 or 63, was it? So that's 54 years. Yeah, haven't got a great record up there, have we? How very West Ham would it be after tonight to go up there and sneak a result?
Yeah, 2-1 West Ham, mate. That's what I'm going for.
Like it.
I'm saving all my eggs in the basket for Seville next week. I just think Liverpool rested a lot of players tonight. We haven't. I think there'll be a couple of changes at the weekend. I think Chalks was pretty spot on earlier, the first time in history, where we were concentrating on the cups rather than the league. You got to think the trip to Anfield is a bit of a no hoper for us normally, isn't it? The last few years we've gone up there, we've given it a go. We come really close. Obviously, when we won up down at the village, it was fantastic. Everyone died out on that for ages. But in their form at the moment, with fatigue setting in, we're relying on a core of 14, 15 players on constant rotation, which is unsustainable against a team that plays in that kind of manner, at that tempo, with that confidence. We're going to win 4-0.
Yeah, that's what I think. And I'll be brutally honest. I don't think we're going to go up there and get a bean. I think it's going to be our heaviest defeat for a couple of seasons, personally. and the end of our season, because it's going to do, our heads are going to drop. So, yeah. I'm going to ask you guys now, right? I'll turn to a question. I got castigated at the start in the summer because I said, and I'll put this on the WhatsApp group, so let's make this public. Because I said we should sell Mikel Antonio while his stock is high, because he ain't going to sustain this next season. And I've been proven right. So, come on, guys. In hindsight, would you have sold him?
Only if we could have got in the 2 replacements.
I think we would.
I'll make you right. A sensible team, and I think not only you said this, but Pinky said it as well. We would be seeing a 31, 32-year-old striker with an injury record as long as your hamstring. While his stock was at its highest it's going to be, we could have been invested and strengthened our side at the same time. We all love Mikel. We all love his exuberant nature, his personality. When he's fit and firing, he's a force to be reckoned with. But since he's called up to the Jamaica squad, that early season promise has just disappeared up his backside, hasn't it? A rapid pace.
Totally disappeared. I saw it coming. Without the Jamaica, I knew that he would not be able to sustain the form that he had. And at the start of the season, I was like, I'm going to end up with egg on my face here. And he didn't. And I don't want to be right, because I want to be cheering the winning streak that we had at the start of the season. I don't want to sit here and say, told you so, because at the end of the day, if I wasn't saying told you so, he'd still be banging the goals in, and we'd be bouncing because we've just done Southampton 3-1 rather than the other way round. So, yeah, I take no pleasure from it.
I've got to say, I mean, I can't remember when it was now, but I did advocate at one point, sometime, I think it was last season, that maybe selling him before giving him a new contract would have been a good idea, given his age, and that, you know, we've got a track record, haven't we, at West Ham, whereby we tend to hold on to players longer than we should do, or the other way around, we let them go before we should do. We never seem to get it quite right in terms of, you know, selling that player as other clubs do when they're in their prime, and replace them successfully, or just exit in their prime anyway. Though what I would say in Mikel's defence is that he had a great start to the season. We all know, Premier League Player of the Month, I think, wasn't he, for August, or candidate anyway. And to be fair, last 2 games we've had an assist and a goal, so it could be worse. You know, he's not completely ineffective, but I certainly don't think he's been any less effective than anyone else in the team in recent weeks, with perhaps the exception of Jared Bowen and Declan Rice, who have been constantly outstanding. But I think the worry for me isn't so much now; it's 12 or 18 months down the line, when he's 33, getting on for 34, and he's still got another 2 year, you know, of his contract left to run. At which point, he's effectively worth nothing. We can't sell him, and we're still going to be paying him a fair old whack. And, you know, I think we've been quite fortunate. You'd have to assume that his injury status has been well managed by the backroom team, because we haven't seen a single hamstring injury this season, whereas a year or 2 ago, you know, that it was a constant, wasn't it? So obviously what the medical team have done there in conjunction with the main backroom team has worked. They've definitely got something out of him. But you know, you just fear for him, don't you? You think another year down the line, is that still going to be the case? Is he going to be that much slower? What are we going to be getting out? And the other question is, of course, Nick, I mean, how much do you think we could have realistically got for him at the end of last season?
30 mil, probably.
Really? You really think so?
I reckon so. I think someone maybe, like, depends on what he was prepared to have, where he was prepared to have gone, I suppose.
Yeah.
I could have seen somebody like Palace coming in for him for that sort of money. There was rumour, even Spurs. Now, how funny would that have been that they'd given us a bundle of money for an Antonio who then completely loses form, and we've mugged them? That would have been brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, it's not this sort of player though, is it? It's a strange one for them to be linked with a player of that age. They tend to buy them a little bit younger, but it's yeah, I don't know. It's a difficult one. I suppose the thing is, as you said, 3 months ago, you looked like you was wrong, and now here we are. It looks like you're right, and who's to say where we'll be in 3 months' time? I suppose that's the fluctuating fortunes of footballers and form and stuff. But yeah, it's he's all we've got. And the thing is, at the end of the day, I think we can complain about players. We can talk about Ben Rama and Vlasic and Kroll, but the point is, at the end of the day, if the club had done their job properly, and by the club, I mean, I think the manager shares a little bit of the blame, because I don't agree with his policy of saying that, we should only bring in players that are better than what we've got. I think sometimes you need to have a squad, and sometimes, we made the point recently about strikers. I can't think who it was now. Who was it we were talking about? Can't think who it was, but we were saying, it doesn't have to be a well beater to come on in the 70th minute for Michail Antonio to give him a rest and to give us a bit of renewed enthusiasm up front. It needs to be a decent player, but it doesn't have to be someone better than Antonio. It was the guy Zapata. I think we're saying the guy we tried to get on loan. We should. Why were we leaving that to the last minute to chase that transfer? Why didn't we push that through at the start of January? That's what's cost us, and that's what is costing us, is that we don't have the players. And I'm sure Moyes knows this. He's not silly, and I'm sure in years to come we'll find out exactly who is responsible for the situation and for not buying those players in January. But it's quite clear that David Moyes had his targets. Whether or not he should have widened his, looked at other targets as well when it became clear that the first choices, the players he was looking at, weren't coming. I don't know, but it's quite clear that's why we are where we are, because we don't have the players. And Nick, you've made the point that everyone has got us sussed out. Rio, you made the point that we offer nothing down the right hand side. I would imagine that being an opposition manager playing West Ham at the moment is the easiest thing in the world, because 10 out of the 11 players we're going to start with, what substitutes we're going to bring on, and when they're going to come on at what point in the game. Making a game plan for a match against West Ham must be pretty simple. And that's what's cost us. And everyone knows this. I'm not telling anyone anything they don't know. But Antonio, we'll see. I think he's still worth a place in the team. I still think he's going to do. I mean, we could go to Spain next week, and Antonio could score a hat trick, and we'll all be sitsing here eulogising about him again. Then, I
hope we do.
So,
you know what? I hope we do.
At the moment, is it?
We've got looks like we do have a Croatian visitor to our stream saying that Vlasic isn't a left midfielder. He needs to play more central as a secondary striker. It's where he excels in the national team. Well, he knows it. Why doesn't David Moyes know it? Because that's what I thought Vlasic was actually signed for. I thought he was going to be another midfielder pushed up front, converted mainly to a striker.
Yeah, I completely agree in essence with the Moyes ethos. You don't bring in players for the sake of it. You improve on them. But we're West Ham with a threadbare squad. Why aren't we utilising the youngsters just to give, as you say, Antonio a break for 20 minutes? A fresh pair of legs, youthful legs, something to prove, a bit of hunger, bit of desire. Tonight would have made all the difference for me. We're not at the stage of a lot of the sides who we're competing against, who've got squads packed full of players and talent, where if you bring in a player and it proves it, it's genuinely improving it. We need bodies.
Yeah.
With a threadbare squad, we need actually bodies out there at the moment, not just improvement.
Absolutely. Well, I'll tell you what, chaps. We'll call it a day there, because we've done pretty much an hour since the final whistle. So we'll reconvene. It's Saturday, isn't it? Saturday afternoon this week in Liverpool. Yeah. We'll reconvene on Saturday for the trip to Anfield. That'll be fun. Barrel of laughs. Come on, we're going to win up there. It's got to happen after we've had such a bad night. But anyway,
yeah, maybe.
we're out. We're out of the cup. Disappointing night for West Ham. It's finished Southampton 3, West Ham United 1. Michail Antonio's back on the score sheet though, so it isn't all bad, I suppose. But you know, we only have 2 competitions left to go for now, and it's the Premier League this Saturday. Liverpool, Seville, massive week for West Ham. But we shall see you on Saturday for that trip to Anfield. My thanks to my guests, my fellow presenters, Rio and Nick. Thanks, chaps. Good to have you on as always. Been a most enlightening debate, as someone once said.
As indeed.
Professor F.J. Lewis. But that's it for tonight. And it's a disappointing night for West Ham. Thanks to all of you for joining us on the live stream. As always, great to read your comments and have your input. Keep us going during the quiet months. Thank you for all your food and body-related footballers tonight that helped us along when we hit.
That seems so long ago.
We was having such fun at the time. But that's it from us tonight. From a disappointing bunch of hammers. Finished, as I say, Southampton 3, West Ham United 1. West Ham out of the cup. Back next year. You never know. 42 years now. 42 bloody years since we've won it. Will we ever
Sounded like Del Boy then.
42 years, Del Boy. Been too long. Anyway, until Saturday, take care, everyone, and we'll see you all very soon. Come on,
Come
you
the eyes.